from the United Holy Land Fund's national headquarters in beautiful downtown Burbank, Illinois, it's our first ever Holy Day Telethon. Featuring live and pre-recorded entertainment, games, and keynote speakers in virtual studios, live from Chicago and throughout Palestine. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our host, Mona Abramashan.
I need your help. Bismillah. Hello. Welcome. My name is Mona Muhammad Abramashan, and I'm here to represent the UHLF's first virtual live telethon fundraiser gala event. Welcome. How are you all doing? Inshallah, you guys are doing well. COVID, right? How are we going to do fundraising? It's Christmas Eve. We're going to have so much fun. So for those of you, first and foremost, we'd like to welcome you to our first ever telethon. If you are in Chicago, scream loud. We can hear you. PBS and UHLF now have something in common. We are doing telethons now. A telethon fundraiser really is just a fancy way of raising money in a fun, cool way. So first, we'd like to get you all comfortable and relaxed to what it is to be like an Arab American, a Palestinian American. We were raised in fundraisers, right? We were, wait, I have to go to school now. Where's Barroh? Is there Bedem? We have been living the fundraising life. And if you're a Chicagoan or an American, sometimes we do it in a cool, fun way called a telethon, where we entertain you and then you use your thumbs and text. We're going to be texting 243725. UHLF, text 243725 UHLF, and you can donate from the comfort of your home. You don't even have to get dressed up. You can wear your Zoom outfit where you have business upstairs and Khabisa downstairs or whatever it is. We're so excited that you're here. Tonight, we're going to have live speakers all the way from Palestine, all the way from down the street in Chicago. We're going to have a lot of our loyal friends who actually are entertainers. We're going to have some live lip sync battles. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to have a podcast featured. You're going to see really who your community is and what we're here committed to do. Because in the end of the day, let's not miss the mission. The mission here is to raise as much money as we can for student scholarships. You ready? All right. So I would like to invite for you guys to get to know a little bit more about the UHLF. I would like to welcome you to the executive director and the co-founder of My DNA, the Hajj, my beloved father, and someone who's loved UHLF way longer than he probably loved me. Please give a warm welcome to Hajj Executive Director Muhammad Abramashan. Thank you so much.
Young as you are anymore. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Let me start by thanking the donors of the United Holy Land Fund who have been supporting us for 53 years plus. If it wasn't for the donors and those who are giving us the funds, we basically cannot go on. So our mission depends basically on you. The United Holy Land Fund, as you probably, some of you might not know, is almost a cash-based organization. And what does that mean? It really means that if we have the funds, our programs, our projects go on. If we don't have the money, it doesn't. So that's why we are holding events like this to continue to support the programs. So please be generous with your donation so we can continue to send those students, the needy students, to college. At the moment, we have well over 500, almost 600 scholarships every semester for the last 10 years, and we sending it to all the universities all over Palestine. The student gets $500 per semester, but there's conditions. First, he needs to demonstrate his need or her need and a B plus average. As we speak in just about everyone know, there are more people than we can afford at this moment. So that's what we need the money. Now, I also need to thank the board of directors members and their families who put up with us. The family of the United Holy Land Fund, they are basically the most dedicated individuals I've had the pleasure of dealing with. They, their families, their wives, their kids, they're all into the United Holy Land Fund. And let me also thank the institutions, the mosques, without naming names so I wouldn't forget any, and the organizations and the companies that have been supporting the United Holy Land Fund for many years. And may I not also forget to thank the volunteers. Our volunteers are of different breed. Not only do they give us their time, they give us their skills, they give us their efforts, but they also donate. So thank you. And I also like to thank those guests who came from near and far to help us raise funds, such as Dr. Muhammad Shaheen and Dr. Sabr Saidam. And there are many to mention. And I'm amazed sometimes when we even offered to pay for their tickets, they said, no, I got it. So thank you. Thanks to the folklore troops who came in and performed and entertained our guests, our donors. They are wonderful, and they know who they are. And if I just don't want to mention everybody's name, because the other day when I mentioned the board members, I forgot people like Abu Baha Al Aruri. I forgot people like Nadir Al Ghul. I forgot Osama Shadid, Auni Abu Hadba. I think mentioning names, it just sometimes it gets a little too dangerous. However, we have sad stories to acknowledge. Yesterday, we received the news of the passing of Hasib Blan. Hasib Blan is the brother of Dr. Qasim Blan, the national president. May God bless his soul. May God shower him with mercy. COVID as well took from us Dr. Abdullah Taha, a board member from New Jersey, and Dr. Saif Titi. Allah yarhamhum. Last week, we also lost Raja'i Busaili. Raja'i Busaili is the founder of the Project Love and Care that we have adopted. He passed on last week. So God bless them all. We need your help to continue your support. Don't forget, I think when I gave out the what is it? It is 243725. Just go and text it, UHLF 243725. And Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to everyone. And thank you for your support.
All right. Give it up for my Hajj. Give it up for the dad. Give it up for you guys. UHLF, donate UHLF. Text it to 243725. Thank you so much. All right. Are you guys ready to get this program going? Are you ready to get it going? So, first, we're going to have a lovely message from Brother Peter Bray. Peter Bray is, Brother Peter Bray, apologies, is the 8th Vice Chancellor of the Bethlehem University and the first university established in Palestine and the Catholic University in the Holy Land. We're so excited. Thank you so much for your contribution. Keep donating.
Greetings from this beautiful little town of Bethlehem in Palestine as we prepare for the most important day of the year here, the celebration of Christmas, when we remember that Jesus was born here in this little town. I'm Brother Peter Bray, the Vice Chancellor and President of Bethlehem University, and on behalf of our students here at Bethlehem University, I thank you for your willingness to take a stand in solidarity with them and support a number of them through the United Holy Land Fund. We are very grateful to the fund for the support they have provided and continue to provide for our students. Our students' awareness of your support is really helping to keep hope alive here. It is showing them that they are not forgotten, that you are standing with them. As you know, Archbishop Desmond Tutu says, if you are neutral in a situation of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. By being part of this telethon, you are showing that you are not neutral, and I thank you for that. The United Holy Land Fund is helping to educate students here, and when I think about that, I'm reminded of Almataz, a young man from Wallachie, a village near Bethlehem. His home was demolished by the Israeli military, but his family and his family friends rebuilt it. And I was speaking with him shortly after it had been demolished for the second time. And he said to me, they've taken my home, they've taken my land, they've taken my freedom, but they cannot take my education. And it's that sort of resilience, determination, courage, and an appreciation of what our students get from being here that really inspires me and leads me to work for them as they cope with the occupation. From Balfour to Trump, Palestine has been denied one dirty deal at a time. From the Nakba back in 1948 through until now, there have been grave injustices against the Palestinians, and people who stand for justice cannot ignore that. I'm not talking about being anti-Israeli or pro-Palestinian, but I am talking about being pro-justice, because without justice, peace will not come. Your willingness to stand in solidarity with the Palestinians is showing you are not neutral, that you are concerned about injustice, and I thank you for that. If you are concerned, I suspect that you often ask yourself, what can I do? I think it's useful to take Theodore Roosevelt's comments. Do what you can, with what you have, where you are. You need to be realistic. As much as we would love to have you here with us, you really can't come to Palestine and stand in solidarity with Palestinians here. But the fact that you are involved in this telethon today is a demonstration that you want to do something. And we should never, ever underestimate the value and the power of many ordinary people doing small things. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but it is possible for concerned people to join together and creatively develop ways to take a stand and make a difference. Being part of this telethon is one way of doing that by supporting the United Holy Land Fund, and I would urge you to do that. We will not be saved alone. We need one another. Thank you for being present today and part of this activity to support the United Holy Land Fund as they reach out to encourage and provide opportunities for students here. For me to make our students aware of that support is helping to keep hope alive here. For that and for your generosity towards the United Holy Land Fund, I thank you. Shukran.
Thank you, Father Peter Bray. all the way from Bethlehem. How many of you there right now are like, man, I wish I was in Bethlehem with an Aussie in Palestine? All right, don't forget, guys, to scroll down below, text UHLF to 243725 to donate now. And every little bit helps. Even if you're just texting $1. Like, remember, $1 would go a long way. $1 you could buy like a bag of M&Ms at the store. Now it's like $1.25. You need your credit card to get air in your tire. So, again, what we really would love it if right now with your thumbs, you could use UHLF 243725. I mean, like you could even send like dinar. I know dinar is a stronger currency. You could send RB, I think it's RBG. That's in Hong Kong because we're being broadcast live everywhere. If you want, you can go to uhlfdonate.org/Gala Live, which you should be watching this from. But we're streaming live into our Facebook pages, which you can comment, our YouTube pages, which you can comment, and if you want, our studio here, we're going to be receiving all those little messages. So if you want a message anonymously, hey, Mona, like your mascara looks really great. Did you do it yourself? Yes, this is a charity. Of course, I did it myself. We'd love to give you $20,000 to help with your charity. Go ahead, you can message it, or you can text UHLF at 243725. It's going to be like American Idol later, guys. It's going to be Arab American Idol. We're going to be able to vote for how much more money you want to send. You never know. Again, this is going for students and student scholarship. And you met the hedge. I basically grew up with that. So like we had to vote him president and executive vice president in our house all the time. So please make sure that you're donating, make sure that you're reading, and make sure that you're spending money for these student scholarships. All right. Are we ready to introduce the thermometer team? We're not ready to introduce the thermometer. No problem. Should I just talk to you guys? Yeah. Again, this is a charity, right? Yes. Can you guys hear me? Message us if you can't. All right. Fedwa Naji, if you can't hear, text me. We have everyone waiting because if you haven't met Fedwa Naji, if you haven't met Dr. Qasim Bland, you're going to meet them soon. And our UHLF studios, we did so much filming. If you could come in live, I would invite you in live, but you know, with Corona, we can't with Corona. So yeah, and we've got folks today. I'm stretching it out because right now we're getting our thermometer ready to go so that we can receive all your funds. Our goal today is going to be $250,000. Should I say dollars? 250,000 dinars. Or no, 250,000 US dollars, which we would love for this year to complete out this year. 2020 has been a challenge for all of you. It's been a challenge for us as well. So for those of you that want to donate a little bit of your hard-earned coffee money to some students, and you'll be hearing them live, the students as well. So let's go to our thermometer and so that every dollar you contribute is going to turn this higher and higher. So we've achieved our goal. How awesome is that? Just kidding. That's our goal for everybody else. So if you can please send in any dollar that you have, 10,000 or $10, it all really does make a difference. Again, for the end, our goal today is to reach $250,000, which will add significantly. $250,000. That's 250. Is that 250,000 students? That's 250 students. That's 250 students. Come on, Mona. Do your 250 math. How about that? All right. Again, our goal today, and you can you can match it for us and meet it today. If you text UHLF 243725. All right. Let's keep the program going. All right. Let's get to know our UHLF board a little bit more. These folks here really take your time and listen to their story. They are the roots of this organization, the longest vetted U.S. Palestinian organization on the planet. The stuff that we've been doing, again, I grew up, some of my first memories is this organization. So let's get to meet them.
My name is Fadwa Ma'ali Naji. I was born in Palestine, in a town called Baitunia. I came to the United States in 1961.
My name is Dr. Qasim Bland. I came from Elar, Palestine. I came to United States August 1st, 1977 to continue my master's degree and PhD.
My name is Mohammed Abu Mishan. I'm currently the executive director. And during those 50 years of the United Hulilan Fund, we only had 5 directors. We hope to have 50 more after me. I still remember the day I came into the United States. It was on the 16th of January, 1971. My sponsor was the late Abdul Hamid al-Barbarawi, who 3 days after that took me to downtown Chicago. And on Friday the 22nd, to be exact, because I still remember the date. And we went, among the things that we saw in downtown, we went to Tobiya Hashim's travel agency, and that's where Fadwa Naji and her late husband, Mahmoud Naji, was working.
I am a lifetime board member by vote, but I have not left the United Land Fund ever since. Right now, I am the secretary of the board of directors. And it's almost like it's a lifetime job too.
We talked about a lot of things. Mahmoud Naji and Fadwa introduced me and talked about the United Holy Land Fund. I was eager to know more about it, and that, I guess, that was probably in the first week of my being here. I knew about the United Holy Land Fund.
The United Holy Land Fund is the very first Palestinian American nonprofit tax-exempt organization in the United States. And its mission never changed.
One of the first people that I got to know is Mahmoud Naji, Allah yarhamu. Mahmoud Naji is one of the founding members for UHLF. And also Abdullah Wajih. Abdullah Wajih is one of the founding members of the UHLF. At that time, I wasn't active with UHLF because I was busy being a student. So, and I remember in 1981, the United Holy Land Fund were one of the largest organization that participated in forming one of the first Palestinian American Congress in Washington. We have 89 delegates from the United Holy Land Fund at the Shoreham Hotel in Washington, D.C. 89 delegates, because at that time, United Holy Land Fund had so many branches everywhere. And I was active again in the Gubs. I was a Gubby, basically. We used to call each other Gubbies. And I wasn't. I was a member with the PAC, Palestinian American Congress, but basically the fund were the foundation for the Congress at that time.
The first founder was Dr. Ahmed Isa from University of Illinois at Carbondale. Him and a group of other professors and Palestinian enthusiasts gathered to establish this after the Battle of Al-Karama.
However, Dr. Ahmed Isa was the founder, but there were 14 other co-founders who helped make the United Holy Land Fund what it is. By all means, everybody recognizes basically that Dr. Abdullah Wajih and Mahmoud Naji were the real founders, but one will never forget Mr. and Mrs. Ajloni, Hanna, and Hala, Ra'fat Rabi, Dr. Ihsan Diab, Tony Rukab, Ismail Farouqi, George Meshni, Elia Khouri, Risa Hassan, David Sifri, Ahmed Atallah, and Bashar Aoun. But the United Land Fund really flourished with generous donors who of the board members, who not only were the protectors of the United Land Fund, but they were also gave of themselves and their money. People such as Rahmatullah Ali, God bless his soul, Ahmed Manna, منير بيوض، سعيد الغصين، تاكي قلة، فدوى ناجي، فرج صيام، صبحي ودي، فالح حمدان، الحج فالح حمدان أبو عماد, Dr. Jamil Samni, and many others. But one must admit that the United Land Fund went through hurdle time. It was the grace of God, and it was the vision of the leaderships and the board members who actually protected it and kept it together. People like Issam Alla, Adnan Saleh, Dr. Sharif Saeed, Mariam Abdul Razak, Mariam Al-Aruri yani, Arif Musa and his brothers, Imad Da'boob, Riyad Al-Agha, Mahmoud Zahra, Dr. Qasim Blan, Ghassan Barakat, Hatem Abdullah, Hatem Sagir, and he had another brother, I forgot his name, Hani Qutb, Mahmoud Dola, Basim Amin, Naeem Abdul Jawad, our newest member from New York, Shukri Hamad, Abu Murad, Muhammad Abdullah, the beloved Abu Amjad, he is always there for us. Uthman Murrar, Dr. Johar Hamdan, Azam Ubaid, Ali Naji, Basim Hishmi, Jamal Asfour, Hamad Siyam, Muwaffaq Jbara, Ali Ghanem, Musa, Usama Shadid, Jihad Mdallali, Abu Hudhaifa, Majid Aweda, who is our capable and very good assistant, Eid Dahoud Abu Rawhi, Ola Isa, her husband Fakhri Isa, all these people, they have contributed in one way or another to the very existence of the United Land Fund.
Amazing. Please continue to support UHLF, again, by texting UHLF to 243725. Again, text to number 243725 in your text box, write UHLF. Okay, our next part of this amazing event and our first live speaker all the way from Palestine is a man I have the pleasure to know him personally as well as professionally. When he was the Minister of Education in Palestine, he invited us as well as a team of comedians that was led by Amr Zahar, one of our Palestinian American comedians extraordinaire. We were on tour in Palestine, and this man welcomed us with such heart that we really felt truly we belonged. So I'm super excited to welcome our next speaker. Let me give you a proper introduction because this man needs, as much as he's done, as much as all of our Palestinians do, he deserves a proper intro. He's a leader of the future, really. With a PhD in electrical engineering from the Imperial College of Science, Technology, and Medicine in Human Development from Oxford University, Dr. Sabri is the youngest serving minister since the establishment of the Palestine National Authority. His credits are long, and his experience in education and civil engagement is longer. Please give a warm welcome to our first keynote speaker, Dr. Sabri Saidam. Hi, Doctor. How are you?
مساء الخير منى, مساء الخير الجميع.
First, and then what we'll do is we'll do a question and answer with Dr. Sabri afterwards. So why don't we just get right into it and I'll kind of step out. That's okay.
Sure. Shukran. I'm grateful to be with you guys. Let me start by saying, one is super excited to be at this event whereby all Palestinians are coming together to help our dear students. Let me just read out my speech since I've been working hard on it. I would say, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed friends, it is with great pleasure that I share with you this special night on the eve of the birth of Palestinian Jesus, the prophet of peace and forgiveness. With us being a week away from marking the 56th anniversary of the Palestinian Revolution against occupation. What's also special is that we're about to see the back of this year that brought pain, misery, and corona to humanity. A year we shed no tear to live to see the end of it, praying that 2021 is a year of salvation and recovery. Looking through the list of founders, leaders, and members of UHLF. I see names of distinguished friends who have given so much to Palestine for years on end. To those and all of you attending tonight's event, and those believing in UHLF's mission, I wish to say a big thank you. A big thank you to you for standing by your principles. Thank you for alleviating the plight of many Palestinians and helping scores of students year after year. Hundreds of thousands of such students, although grounded by COVID-19, as everywhere else in the world, are still pursuing their studies online against all odds, believing in a better tomorrow. Yet their determination is sharpened by every persistent attack against their schools, colleges, and colleagues. Colleagues who have fallen victim to Israeli attacks, the last of whom, but certainly not the least, is the 13-year-old Ali Abu Alia of the Mughayr village. For Ali and millions more, we gather tonight to renew our commitment, not to let go of hope and freedom. 2020, ladies and gentlemen, has been the year of anguish. Yet to all Palestinians, it has been the year of atrocious pain, instigated and magnified by the outgoing American administration, which continues to enjoy inflicting damage on Palestine and the Palestinians, not only by virtue of its deadly and hopefully dead so-called peace plan, but also by its annexation and normalization efforts. Being on the wrong side of history does not make you popular, but rather project you as a cheap hypocrite, ready to give up your ethics to be voted back into the White House. Let's pray this never happens. Never again should it happen. Join me, dear friends, in praying for a better tomorrow. We count on your zeal, energy, and determination to bring about a different reality. Those considering the support of UHLF, this great organization, I would encourage you to continue to be generous with your support, as every stepping stone helps. Together, indeed, we can make a difference. I wish you all the very best in the year to come, so we stand united in our holy strive for liberty and freedom. As I long to rejoin you soonest to celebrate with you the independence of free Palestine, inshallah. Ladies and gentlemen, we're certainly not the children of a lesser God. We are the products of a proud society that has chosen to be on the right side of history. Sad are the people who have no history. Sad are the people who have no hope, now that we have the two in abundance here in Palestine, within the very Palestinians we all love. Let's keep the push so that those fallen can rest in peace. God bless you. God bless Palestine. And God bless the souls of those who have fallen, inclusive of the friends Muhammad Abu Mishan just mentioned. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to be with you. Such an honor to see that you're still going with your work and still fundraising at the time of difficulty. I'm so proud of you. Shukran ya Muna.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you so much.
So proud of you.
Thank you.
We all
Thank you. We're a little frozen coming all the way from back home. We wanted to ask a few questions. Let's see if we can still, if we have the live feed going fresh, or is Dr. Saidam frozen in our studio? He may be, but we have so many amazing questions for him. For example, one of the things, if he is able to hear me, Doctor, how many students collectively would you assume are in Palestinian universities? Those are some things to really contemplate. We're going to be hearing from some of the different universities that we work with. There are thousands and thousands of students. Number two, one thing to ponder, and if Dr. Sabri's there, one of the questions I really did want to ask him is, what kind of financial support is the government providing? What does a typical scholarship look like in terms of how we can support? How much is what's the dollar for dollar ratio relative to a Palestinian student? I mean, in general, like, hey, Dad, how much money did we rack up on my education? And I have a master's degree in international development, and I'm paying for it with comedy. So in general, what is the relative dollar to dollar ratio of how much you can impact a society through scholarship programs. We really, really did appreciate. All right. We'll talk to him. We're going to try him later. He's actually super excited. He is a regular communication coming out of Palestine. So if you want to stay in the know, please stay in touch with Dr. Saidem. We'll be hearing from him soon. All right, let's continue this. Again, we want to hear specifically from some of the universities. Again, this is a telethon. You can donate to typing UHLF to 243725. Every dollar helps. Now we're going to hear from the universities in Gaza. So we're going to hear from Gaza University, Islamic University of Gaza, and the Palestine University in Gaza. This footage really got us super excited when we received it. So don't sleep, all right, on the skill set and the tech of all of our Palestinian brothers and sisters that are getting these educations. What are their skill sets? What are they involved in? You're going to see here now. Okay. Dr. Sabri's back. Dr. Sabri, should we bring Dr. Sabri back? Doctor, are you there?
It's good to be back.
You are.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Do you mind if I ask you in front of the live audience a little bit of the numbers around some of the financial support these students can get? It's frozen again. Hey, remember, listen, this is pretty impressive. This is Palestine now, right? It's an open prison. The fact that Google Maps is there, all right? Let's be really grateful. Doctor, we're going to keep you in the studio. You're probably going to be our co-correspondent throughout the show because you have the tatris in the background. I mean, this is Palestine TV, all right? If they're American Palestine TV. So why don't we do this? Well, he's connected. Are you there, Doctor? Or am I looking at the wrong? Is you like this?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I love it. It keeps freezing. Doctor, how are you?
Yeah, doing well. So happy to be with you guys. Go ahead.
Okay. Doc, how many students would you assume are in the university systems within Palestine, roughly?
I would say this year there's about 340,000.
Wow.
In just over 20 higher education institutions. Yes.
340,000.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Roughly each student, what would if they could pay for everything on their own, what would a typical student need to fork over to go into university? What's typical bill?
I would say it's different from one university to the other. The rates in the West Bank are different than the rates in Gaza. But for sure, one would need about $1,500 to $2,000 to pay for fees and to pay for school needs, and just about $2,000 a year to pay for pocket money. So I would say this is just about fair. This is not living with with a lot of financial space, but rather managing okay with your finances.
Absolutely. I mean, universities here, as you probably know, have gotten to the point where it could be upward of 20,000 per semester. So if you're saying 1,000 a year or 1,000 a semester per student?
I would say there's about 1,000 per student per semester. So we're talking about almost 2,000 per year for fees. And you add about 2,000 for pocket money, plus books and stuff. So I would say it goes up to 4,000 in total.
That's brilliant. I mean, that's economy of scale. I mean, I probably should get my PhD over there instead of coming over here. So what kind of support is actually the government kind of providing these students where UHLF isn't necessarily needed, or how does the government play a role?
Well, definitely, as you know, the government has been burdened this year by the fact of the effects of Corona. So any support that comes from Palestinian diaspora is extremely appreciated. As you know, government used to pay universities, I would say a relatively small amount of money to help them going. But I heard my colleagues just before the start of this event, they're complaining that government is unable to match its promise of finances. So one had to rely and still has to rely on Palestinian diaspora. So this event and many more events would certainly contribute towards supporting Palestinian institutions and Palestinian students at large. Let me say another thing, Mona. As you know, universities rely on the money that comes from students. So fees are extremely and super important. So if you pay your fees, then you're injecting more blood into the veins, as it were, of universities and keeping them going. So I would say any help would count. If you pay students for towards their fees, you pay towards their pocket money, their expenses, or you're paying universities in terms of funding their research and activities, you are certainly contributing towards the ability of such universities to survive, especially in the harsh era of Corona. Inshallah, this
Oh
will
yeah.
end so that humanity can really rest and can do some effective work towards rebuilding and picking up the pieces. This world has been shattered by Trump and by Corona. So two viruses have affected the
Ain't that
affected
the
the
truth?
scene.
Absolutely, absolutely. In general, what's one thing that you're noticing, or what field of research are you noticing Palestinian students are enrolling much more heavily in? For example, I know that Israel is heavy into biotech. Whereas, are you noticing Palestinians enrolling into certain types of programs so to showcase basically the potential trend in the next 10 years of the types of Palestinian skill sets that will be out in the workforce? What are you noticing there?
Well, Palestinians go everywhere, basically, interested in everything you can imagine. I think they've been encouraged by people in diaspora also sharing in their experience and expertise, and also opening new doors. So, wouldn't be surprised that Palestinians go into astronomy, for example, to find new jobs. But certainly, the high tech is extremely important. Access to the world is very important. So, the artificial intelligence, Internet of Space, and the big data and all the new specialities as they were are extremely attractive to Palestinians. Tourism is another sector. Biotech is a third sector. Pharmaceuticals is extremely important. Engineering, bioengineering, and different disciplines. So I would say Palestinians at large are extremely hungry for education for the reason of believing that education is the only platform that is competent enough to keep Palestinians going. Should they be deported, expelled, or should they face any politically motivated harsh circumstances, they would be equipped with education. So I would encourage more Palestinians to go into comedy, for example, as one
Stop
of the
it.
weapons.
Stop.
By the way, you didn't pay me to say that.
Inshallah.
You didn't pay me to say
Inshallah, soon I'll be teaching. I teach these comedy workshops, so inshallah we'll be able to, for kids and adults and corporate. So we'll be talking about that soon. One of the things I wanted to ask is if Palestinian the Palestinian diaspora, are you seeing at all what is common in international development and a lot of our work is a brain drain? Are you noticing Palestinians wanting? Are they still choosing to leave Palestine to get an education, or are you finding expats returning? So like I had posed earlier, me getting my PhD at one of the universities there. Are you finding any expats coming home to repatriate, kind of like some of the phases of Ireland in the early 80s?
Indeed, that's the case. As you know, Palestinians are aware that Israel is pushing them to the brink of total collapse economically, socio-economically. So Israel is playing into the hands of people wanting to encourage Palestinians to leave Palestine and go elsewhere. But what's good about Palestinians is that they figured out long time ago that another Nakba is not going to happen, and they will be living on the ashes of their homes should Israel decide to bulldoze these homes. So the history will not be repeated, whereby Palestinians
Inshallah.
leave the land. A lot of Palestinians go for education, but what's good and extremely exciting is that they come back to help their society. Although I have to admit that circumstances in Gaza are extremely tough, and those who leave find it difficult, extremely difficult to leave. So it's extremely difficult to come back. So I would say there's a lot of, or a fair number of Palestinians in diaspora who are awaiting uh, border relaxation, as it were, especially from Egypt, so that more of them come back to repatriate with their families at home and can help push the Palestinian economy forward. So it's a finger sort of biting game with the Israeli occupation, and one is aware of the push by Israel to eject as many Palestinians from Palestine as it could.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your contribution. Is there any way that we can all connect with you? I know I follow you on WhatsApp, and you really are constantly pushing out communication. Do you have your own YouTube page? Are we gonna see you regularly on UHLF TV as a as a contributing member? Where can people follow you? Is there a platform, or should we just kind of secretly get to know you through different events?
Let me just say that if anybody wants to approach me, you're the address, Mona.
That's what's up. You got to come through me.
I have my Facebook page, very active there, and also through WhatsApp if you would like to extend my numbers with those interested. Plus my YouTube account whereby I share some special videos, and I also have a radio show, Khair Jalis. It's about reviewing books. So anybody who wants to connect also through Khair Jalis, I would appreciate it, as I review on daily basis books, Arabic and English books and novels.
Thank you. Amazing, amazing. No comedy? That's okay. We'll work on your own comedy book soon. We will be doing stand-up, inshallah, from Palestine. Give it up for Dr. Sabri. Of course, you would be doing stand-up. All right, you guys, ladies and gentlemen, please, thank you so much for Dr. Sabri Saidam. Please follow him on Facebook and YouTube and his radio show. You've been such a lovely contribution. I'm really grateful for all of your patience in dealing with the difficulty back home. I mean, you know, back not too long ago, we used to run to Jarana to have, there was only one phone and all the halhul. So we're super grateful you were able to come in live. Now, let's hear from our Gaza universities with some of from Gaza University, the Islamic University of Gaza, and the Palestine University.
It gives me pleasure to speak on behalf of Gaza University and to thank the United Holy Land Fund for their assistance and help to our students. Since 2014, the UHLF is helping our students, our poor students, by paying a part of their fees to the university. Also, graduated people who are not able to pay their fees at the end. Also, this institution has helped to free their certificates and to let them be graduated. I would like to assure our thank and our gratitude to this institution, the United Holy Land Fund, for their help, and we are looking forward to get more and more assistance from them, since you know that the position of the situation in Palestine is very bad and the poverty is everywhere found in Gaza. Thank you.
I want to say thank you to the United Holy Land Fund Institution, also to the Students' Affairs in my university for giving us this scholarship, especially during this tough situation and these circumstances that we live during the coronavirus pandemic and the lockdown in the city. Also, I hope that scholarship might reach more students who is in need for it. Thank you.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It is my pleasure to speak to you at this festival to thank United Holy Land Fund for its generous support to the needy students at the Islamic University of Gaza. This support is very positive and has contributed to help our needy students and to support the Palestinian people here in the Gaza Strip. We are very appreciated to all the businessmen and the supporters of this very respected organizations for their generous support and for their standing with us, actually, especially at this very critical time. We look forward to continuing our collaboration with these organizations to support our needy students and to support the right for higher education to our students who are in desperate need now to any kind of support from your organization. Thank you very much for your help and for your generous donations for our needy students, and we look forward to continuing our collaboration with you in the future for the benefits of our Palestinian community here in Gaza.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. First of all, I would like to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's for all the kind in the world. Also, I extend my thanks and appreciate to the all members of the board of directors of United Holy Land Fund Association and all donors for what they help and have provided and presented to our poor students in Palestinian universities in general and in my student at Palestinian University in particular. What they do is appreciated and respected. Well, also with this scholarship, you are helping our poor students to continue their educations. And on the other hand, revealing their families in light of difficult economic situation suffered by our people in Gaza Strip. Finally, I reiterate my thanks to all the members of board.
Are people texting? Is any money coming in?
Association.
No.
And
I don't want you to donate. I want
to them more support to our students as they are and they are needed to that. Many thanks for all.
Awesome. My mic was on, and we wanted to see if anybody's donating to Gaza. Do you see that? Listen, that video had Christmas themed. Who was thinking that in Gaza? Everybody thinks of Gaza like, oh, poor Gaza. No, Gaza is getting it on. All right. They know how to edit. They're doing amazing stuff there. Look at that university. So we need your contributions, guys, so we can make sure that this keeps going. So please text UHLF to number 243725. And if you stay tuned throughout the rest of this telethon, I might leave my mic on again, where maybe I in the background blend some hummus. You don't know. I'm Palestinian American. Sometimes we do that. Okay. Our next part, I get to say that the next part of this telethon, the next entertainer is one of my favorite people on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't be able to be an international comedian of average, of averageness, as a lot of people say. Mona, you're like average, Yani. But if it wasn't for friends like this, I wouldn't be able to perform around the world and hit stages that they've never seen a Palestinian American, let alone a Palestinian, let alone a Muslim female comedian, if it wasn't for a fellow brother like our next performer. So he is a Somali-born Prince Abdi is a British comedian, actor, and writer. Having moved from Somalia to London as a child, Prince draws on his migrant background to create a unique style of storytelling and comedy. Please give a warm welcome to UK comedian and one of my dear friends and brothers. Give it up for Prince Abdi. Come on in, Prince. How are you, Prince?
Oh, wow. Can you hear me?
No, wow. Wow to you. That's a lot of hair, my brother. Not all yours. Prince, you look like how my father looked like when he came in 71. And somehow, I don't know how he got my mother, this cute little blonde, like, she's like, hey. And he's like, hi, look at my afro. Is that what's going on upstairs with you guys?
Nice. I'm in the UK. It's cold out here. It's very, very cold.
Yeah.
That's why I've got to keep the hair, until we get some sun. I'm
awesome.
actually at home.
Are you? I can see.
Yeah, we're not allowed to go anywhere. We're on total lockdown, so you're not allowed to even visit friends or family. Nobody. You just have to stay at home.
let me see if I understand this. Is it kind of like being Palestinian during occupation?
Not as bad, I'll be honest.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Thank you. All right. So I just wanted to say hello. This would be like if you and I were chatting backstage. I'm going to give it up, ladies and gentlemen. Have fun. Prince, these are your people, bro. Like whatever you want to say, just have fun. This is us, revolutionaries all the way. Give it up for my dear friend, Prince Abdi.
Oh, thank you. I can't actually see anyone, so I'm just going to perform to you guys. Thank you, Mona, for those kind words. Yep, I'm from Somalia. That's where I'm originally from, based in the UK. Me and my family actually came to London in the 80s on a 2-week holiday. Still got another week to go. Being a comedian, I mean, it's been such a strange year this year. I mean, everybody knows it's been a strange year. Being a comedian, especially from Somalia, there's some shows that are just like, I mean, this is weird for me because I can't see anyone, but I've done some shows that have been very, very weird. Like back in January, I did a show on a ship. Imagine a big cruise ship, and there was about 800-900 people, and I had to introduce myself. Like Mona introduced me. Nobody introduced me at this show on a ship. 900 people. All I said to these people was, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Prince Abdi. I am from Somalia. I've never seen people so scared for their lives. I've never seen people so scared. There's a little old lady. She's in the corner. She's like, "Where are you taking us?" I'm like, relax. I'm not a pirate. I'm your captain now. So that's the kind of things I do as being a British Somali. I was actually in Dubai 2 weeks ago. And I didn't think I was going to make it back to the UK because the security is quite tight. Getting back into the UK, you go from one scan to another scan to another scan. And just before I was about to get on the plane, I kid you not, this Emirati guy stopped me. This big Arab guy. Out of everyone, he stopped me. Me being a comedian, being silly, I looked at this Emirati guy and I was like, "Why did you stop me? Is it because I'm black?" And he went, "Yes." I kid you not. And then I was laughing. He was like, "What's so funny?" I was like, "That's funny." He goes, "It's not." Very serious over there. I got this hoodie. Anybody? Can you see my hoodie, guys? I got this hoodie. I thought it was just a hoodie like this, but it's not. It does this. Kid you not?
Prince.
Nice. Yep.
Seriously?
Hello?
Oh, dude. I'm going to be your audience. Keep going. I love it. Keep going. Next.
True story. Actually, my mom got me this because she was worried about coronavirus, so she got me this. So she's like, just put it on like this and walk around. And I'm like, "Mom, I can't see anything when I do this." This is I really do like this because at nighttime, especially in like British transport, after like certain times, say like midnight, 1 a.m. right? It can be a bit dangerous. Like people, might want to talk to you, might want something from you. This is the perfect top to wear. So every time I'm trying to get home safe, I just put this on. And nobody looks at me. Nobody sits next to me. Sometimes people do come near me and I get friendly. I'm like, "Hello, where are you going?" Me too. I'm a big fan of accents. Big fan. I saw my dad. Last week. My dad loves Brexit. Like he's so obsessed with Brexit. And I always say to my dad, it's like, "Dad, stop talking about Brexit. That's all you do. Stop talking about Brexit." And my dad replied to me, he was like, "There are too many foreigners in this country. Too many foreigners. That is why I voted for Brexit." And I'm like, the irony, Dad. You're a foreigner yourself. I'm not foreigner. I am British. My dad's from Somalia, not Nigeria. I just can't do a Somali accent. But I do love doing like different accents. Like sometimes accents get me out of trouble. Like this time last year I was in Australia and I was in this coffee shop and I went to sit on this chair and this Australian guy came out of nowhere and just grabbed the chair and he looked at me and was like, "What are you doing, mate? It's my chair." And I don't know why I started talking his accent back. I was like, "Nah, mate, it's my chair." And then he kept saying, "I was here first. I was here first." And he kept saying that to me. "I was here first." He's emphasizing so loud. He's like, "I was here first. I was here first." So I panicked and I looked at this Australian guy. I was like, "Mate, I'm an Aboriginal. I think you'll find it. I was here first." It's like a little Palestinian Israeli joke there.
Trust me, I get it.
Oh man, it's really like cold out there. Before I did stand up, before I met lovely Mona, I used to be a salesman. I used to work in sales. I kid you not, I'm not making this up. I used to sell doors, right? So what I used to do, I used to knock on people's doors, and I used to try and sell them doors. How tough is that job? I literally used to go around and go, excuse me, do you want to buy a door? And people used to slam the door at me. I remember this little old lady. I was like, excuse me, would you like to buy a door? And she looked at me, she was like, get a real job, son. That was my grandma. I wanted to be I've never actually been to that side of the land. The closest I've been to the Middle East is Dubai, like I was saying. But I do I love Middle Eastern like markets. They're very friendly. They want to say things to you, just to, trying to like get you on board. I remember I was in like this souk. You call it souk? Souk? We say Somali, we say souk. It's the same. And I was in this souk in Dubai. And as I'm walking through, people are trying to be nice, right? Trying to get my attention. So they would think of any celebrity they thought of. So this guy was like, hey, Michael Jordan, come on, buy this, Michael Jordan. And I'm walking. Some other guy goes, hey, Jay-Z, come on. And some other guy shouts out, Beyonce. I'm like, Beyonce? I just love like Middle Eastern. I have my next door neighbor is actually Middle Eastern. He's got a very thick accent. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met, but he's got a very thick accent. And I always tell him, like recently he got arrested basically, and the reason why is he can't say. So in the UK we say the word knackered as in tired, right? Now my friend Abdul, he tries to say the word knackered, but instead he says naked. Because it's come from.
That's really different.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm so naked. Prince, you are never naked. Every time I see you, never naked. I want to go and pick up my children in school, but I'm naked. No, you can't say that. What do you mean? You say it? Yes, I say naked. That's what I said. Naked. I've never this is awesome, but I've never I've done like Zoom shows before, and the last Zoom show I did because I can't see anybody, but the last Zoom show I did it to I could see them. I did it to a couple, so it's one screen, and I did it to a couple. Right? I thought there's going to be more people. Nope, it was just two people, and I'm performing to them. Right, and then this couple, I kid you not, started having an argument, and then the husband, he just got up and just went to the kitchen, and I was going to continue, and the wife goes, "No, I think we should wait for him." So I've done like all kind of bizarre shows.
I can only imagine what it's like. Do you mind if I interrupt your set right now? And
not at all.
Okay, great. So have you missed literally the reaction? That's why I wanted to get into like screen by screen, so you could see that I'm actually paying attention, because when we're just telling jokes, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And like imagine like other jobs that you can't do from Zoom. Like I can't be a bricklayer on Zoom. I have to go to the bricks, right?
Well, you could try to do like a demonstration. Yeah, I know.
There's another.
It's and
for $24.99 you can buy all my bricks. That's probably what we could do. It's basically commercial land.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh.
Thank you so much, Prince. And how can people find more of you? Because I know that you're coming. I hear that you're coming to the States and going on tour with me once COVID's over, right?
Hopefully, when this whole thing is over, yes.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, I'll be in America. But yeah.
What other?
You can find me at the Real Prince Abdi. So I've got Prince Abdi there, but at the Real Prince Abdi, that's my handle. So yeah, you can find me there.
At the Real Prince Abdi. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you. Do you have any big projects coming out? I know that you've been working with a lot of the major studios, and what I'll do is we'll just let the people know to find you at the Real Prince Abdi, and we'll keep supporting you. Thank you so much, Prince. I know it was such short notice, and with all the chaos of our new production company, we're really grateful for your contribution to Palestine and raising all the funds for the students.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for having me.
Yay. Thank you so much. Bye, Prince.
Bye-bye.
Salam. All right, so we're going to keep this going. We have another live studio guest, one of our favorite here at the UHLF, all the way here from Chicago, Dr. Reverend Wagner. He is so fantastic. He's coming up. What we're going to do is first, we're going to tell you how we're looking with our thermometer, our donations drive. Let's look at where we are, guys. Come on, this is Palestinian. This is us now, right? So start sharing it. If you're not sitting in the actual fund, why don't we share how people can contribute and donate by looking here? So we've got $33,850. All right, we've got a goal now to hit of 250. Let's keep it going. Message us. Let us know. You guys also in the studio. Those are here in the studio. I wish I could show you how busy we are here. Why don't you guys let me know when funds start coming in, because that's the exciting part. Like 10,000 from Abu Bahat. I don't know, Abu Bahat, sorry if you didn't donate 10,000, but I know you've donated $10,000 of time even just this year. So thank you so much. Again, you can donate by texting the word UHLF to number. You can just pull up your phone as if you're going to text anybody instead of dialing their number if you remember it. You dial 243725, and in the text box, type in UHLF. It'll give you the link and you'll go on your way, and we can raise the temperature. We try to get 250,000 by the end of this. Okay. Now, for our live in studio guest, I'm super excited to welcome one of Chicago and the UHLF's super duper supporters. We actually love working with him, and he's always available on the dime, and he's taken a lot of heat just by being a man of integrity. The Reverend Dr. Don Wagner recently retired as the National Program Director for Friends of the Sabir North America. He was a professor of Middle East Studies and director of the Center for Middle East Studies at North Park University in Chicago. He's the author of 5 books on Palestinian human rights, Christians in the Middle East, and Christian Zionism. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the comfort of his home. He's been so patient, Reverend Don Wagner and his lovely, lovely wife, Linda Khatib. How are you?
Hey, thank you, Muna.
Thank you so much for being so patient.
Yeah, we're getting ready to leave for Christmas Eve dinner with my son, the grandkids, and his wife.
Thank you.
Thanks for working us in. Well, first of all, I want to just applaud the fund. And you've meant a lot to me through the years. When I was first getting started on Palestine, it was Mahmoud and Fatwa Naji, people like Ayub and Gala Telethon, Ibrahim Abu-Lugod, and all those with them that kind of mentored me. And one person that can't be forgotten that was a powerhouse at UHLF was Mimi Khatib. And her sister, Linda, right here, the late Mimi, she did so much. She was just an emblematic symbol of activism for Palestine and justice. I also want to send condolences to Dr. Kasim and the whole Bland family. I'm so sorry. Our love goes out to you, and healing for all of you and the family with this loss. So I want to just say a couple things and then turn it over to Linda. My good friend, Dr. Reverend Mitri Raheb in Bethlehem, has built schools, is a pastor. He says, hope is what you do, because that inspires others. It relieves the pressure. It shows compassion. And with those particularly who are hurting, like many of these students, the situations they come from with so little money, with Palestine struggling to meet all of the other needs. What we are doing in the Holy Land Fund by supporting these students is really hope in action is doing. So thank you, Fund, and we're going to get off and give our little contribution, which is very modest. So remember, hope is what you do. And education is such a priority in Palestinians. That was one of the first things I learned about the high value of education. Families will sacrifice, the community will sacrifice to make sure the next generation is finding education. And with all that the Israelis and our corrupt US administration have done to collapse the economy and the political future of the Palestinians, education continues to be a high priority. And I want to close with that there is a little hope. I want to send just a message that we are in solidarity with you with our modest gifts and skills. And we are working here in Chicago on our Congress people, the senators, the members of Congress. And believe me, they need to be educated, harassed, and pushed so that they do the right thing. But there's a new crop coming in to the Congress. And we believe that we can push them on such things as ending the siege and the blockade in Gaza, of restoring funding to UNRWA, the hospitals, also restoring maybe some contributions to the universities. So we have to do our part politically. I know the fund can't do this, but Linda and I can, and you can privately. So there is a little bit of hope. I don't expect much from Biden, but remember again, hope is what we do and what we do for justice, compassion, and truth. So hats off to you, fund. Everybody donate and give sacrificially to this great cause. And now a few words from my dear wife, sister of Linda Khatib, and a great activist in her own right, Linda.
Hi, everybody. I echo Don's praise for this organization. We've been supporters for years and years, and it's one of our favorite charitable organizations. As all of you know, the crisis in Palestine is growing. Israel is dispossessing more Palestinians than ever before, destroying lives more than ever before. You know, the Chinese have a way of thinking about crisis. They have a word, crisis, that's composed of two Chinese characters signifying danger and a change point. In other words, an opportunity. What is the danger? Well, we have a bolder and more brutal Israeli occupation and a growing and more deadly coronavirus. And Israel, in all its cruelty, is acquiring the vaccine for its settlers and its chosen population, but not extending it to Palestinians. All of this requires that we embrace the opportunity for change. Each of us has an obligation to become a change point, to alleviate the crisis. That change point is the power of giving. There is so much grief and hardship in the world today. It's easy to feel that our efforts are useless, but lightening the burden of another is one of the most powerful things that we can do. Your partnership with UHLF means that their educational grants, vocational training, health and rehabilitation programs for orphans, widows, the needy, can change more lives and brighten more futures of those who've suffered for so long. Indeed, it's the responsibility of all of us who've been given so many blessings in life to give as generously as we can to transform the lives of the needy and secure a better world for us all. The power for change is in our hands. Helen Keller said, "Alone we can do so little, but together we can do so much." Many thanks to the leadership of this productive and persevering organization. Thank you to my dear departed sister Mimi, who poured all her life and energy into the mission of UHLF. And I leave you with gratefulness for the proud legacy that you have left us. Thank you for your continuous philanthropic service since 1968.
Salam and Samud, and thank you, Fund. And may everybody give now for our students and for the future of Palestine. Thank you.
Much. Thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have a lovely, lovely Christmas. And on behalf of all the Palestinians here and abroad, your integrity, your hard work, and your commitment, and your love, Palestinian and white guy. It's really beautiful and super inspiring for creating a diverse future. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Okay.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much. All right. For those of us that are at home and you're getting comments from all your friends and family, what's going on? Go to our Facebook page, UHLF 68. We are streaming there live. Also on our YouTube channel, like and share. Make sure that you're texting UHLF to number 243725. Our donations are coming in, but they're coming in slowly, Palestinians. Let's go. Come on. Where's the moolah? Where's the l'argent? Where's the flus? Come on. These are students. Hey, we're on time. This is a Palestinian American production. Don Wagner was in the studio maybe 5 minutes late due to these guys. If I could show you what's going on back here. Where's the Masari? How many different ways can I say money? Like, they're like, Mona, listen, your Arabi is a little falahi for us. And I say, thank you. I say, I am from Halhul, and in Halhul, women rule. So if I'm going to make up khabislis, speaking Arabic and English all at one, where else would I do that? But at UHLF TV, for what other kind of cause other than students? Students, again, we heard from Dr. Sabri, what is a normal tuition? We're talking in the thousands. I think my father spent maybe that much money when he first came in 71. So really, it's affordable. And I don't know, like, did you buy a deep fryer and you're not using it? Could that money have gone to a student? Maybe. Do you have 57 phone cases like my Ammo Saud in a drawer? That money could have gone to some students in Gaza. Do you like oat milk with your mocha because it's so delicious and creamy and it costs you $6? That could have gone to someone in Palestine. That's the thing. For those of you that are American and were raised here in the States and you had family that made you finish your dish because there were people starving in Africa. And if you're Palestinian, you know, you didn't hear that story. You heard, Yem, wow, your cousin back home, he's starving. Finish your adas. Everybody loves adas, right? Adas is a thing. So again, continue to donate and support these students. They are miracle workers. We're going to be hearing from some more students, but I bet you're wondering, what would it look like if we had Arab America's Funniest Home Videos? And I am sure all of the young ones that are in the audience right now that are watching probably like laid on some couch, like, you know what? I'm Muslim, but I love Christmas Eve. It's so great. I love Isa. He was a great cousin. Yeah. So right now, you're probably watching on TikTok, right? Some Arabi guy who's making the best kanafa ever and then like throwing a ship at his mom and she catches it. If it wasn't for TikTok, I don't think that Palestinians, Americans, Muslims, anybody would be as cool as creating their own home videos. So let's see some of them now.
على عهدي على ديني على أرض تلاقيني أنا لأهلي أنا فديهم أنا دمي فلسطيني 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 أنا دمي فلسطيني على أرض تلاقيني يلي بتحب البلد هاي البلد بلدنا احنا اخوي للابد وما في شي بيفرقنا يا باي يا باي حياهم الله الفلسطينية حيهم الفلسطينية قول يا مهند قول فلسطيني 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 أنا اللي اسمي يكفيني.
If all of the kings had their queens on the throne, we would pop champagne and raise a toast to all of the queens who are fighting alone. Baby, you're not dancing on your own.
يا صلاتك يا محمد يا صلاتك يا محمد الصلاة صلوا عليه
You're Arab, you speak Arabic in the Arabic? Huh? Me? No. But are you sure? Somebody telling me there is Arabic guy here can giving me discount in the piano. And my name is Abu Yusuf. I play the piano. Are you sure you're not him? You're not, huh? Yeah, fine. Okay, that's me. Ahla wa sahla. What kind of piano did you need? Lahza, listen, maybe you don't know me, but I know your father's cousin, okay? So we are like cousins. The one I need is cost $1,000. I think it's costing you like $500. You can charge me that price and I'll pay the tax for you. I'll pay it. Don't worry. Wow, thank you. You'd really do that for me? We're out of stock on those, unfortunately. What? But there's 5 of them right there.
قالت لي تشرب ايه؟ انا اشرب شاي
ماما الله يخرب بيتك خدي حاجتك دي. ايه ده؟ خايبه ونايبه وعايزه تتفرج.
اشرب شاي
كلمني وقال لي انزل لي رايحين نسهر، رحنا قعدنا اداني الكاس قلت له بلاش انا مش بشرب، طلبت عصير ما انا مش بشرب، ما طلعش عصير انا كده بشرب، شايف عصافير ودماغي بتعمل بام 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 بام.
لا 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 لا.
Hello, what can we get started for you today?
Can I have one venti coffee? 2 cream, 2 sugar.
Oh my goodness, that's
And
beautiful.
can I have 1 lemon cake, please? And that's gonna be all. Yumma ya, yumma ya, yumma ya, yumma.
That would be
Search the sky for light and glory. La la ilaha illallah. The moon will smile.
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look at the 5 and 10. It's glistening once again with candy canes and
Wasn't that funny? Come on, when she sang back at Starbucks, though. I will no problem with oat milk. I don't know what she said back, but like brought me to tears. I feel like we should be singing more to all of our folks. All right, so why don't we get a sense now of where we are in our donation? Because we just got a message live from Fedwa Naji and family that they just donated $5,000. All right, let's see what our thermometer looks like if we could. So bring that up. I also would love you guys, those of you that have the Hedges number and you want to start bidding, just like we normally do at every other UHLF, where a young man comes up and yells at all of us to start donating. You know who you are. This is the time. And you can do it throughout the event. You can bully us by texting to a Hedge if you want to, or 243725. 243725. That's the number. Text UHLF. Text it. And we'll be waiting for all of your dollars. Or you can message us on those platforms that you have here at UHLF 68 at Facebook. We're streaming live, as well as YouTube, UHLF 68, or you can just look at uhlf.org where you can donate there live as well. Share, share, share. We want to get text messages of donations from all over the world thanks to you. All right. Are you ready for our next portion, which is fantastic because we're going to get to know a little bit more about Palestine Polytechnic University from this video right here.
Assalamu alaikum. I had the honor to lead the Palestine Polytechnic University in Hebron since 2014 until today. During this period, I got closely acquainted with the charity foundations that support the education of needy students in Palestine. These institutions achieve their noble humanitarian mission of giving through their charitable activities, through which they receive donations from good people who do not spare their money to educate the needy youths in Palestine and elsewhere. This is exactly what the United Holy Land Fund is doing and was doing during the last 5 decades. I had the honor to participating in the 51st United Holy Land Fund annual fundraising dinner in Chicago last November in 2019. During my presence, I had the pleasure of meeting brothers and sisters who were very generous in donating for the noble work of the foundations. Also, I had truly sensed the volunteer effort made by the board members of the United Holy Land Fund. As for my university, we receive a donation of around $25,000 every year that cover portions of the tuition fees of around 25 needy students. To the students who and their family and us at the university, this is highly appreciated. Allow me once again, on behalf of all university colleagues, to express my deepest gratitude to the United Holy Land Fund, to its board of directors, its executive board, its General Assembly, and to all brothers and sisters who support the noble plans and activities of the foundation. Finally, I would like to seize the moment to congratulate the United Holy Land Fund for its 53th anniversary, wishing the organization all the best in its launching of the first telethon for its educational scholarship grant, which comes amid the coronavirus pandemic. We pray to Almighty God to help people all over the globe to overcome the pandemic very soon. God bless you all. Thank you.
so much. That was lovely. Palestine Polytechnic University. All right, let's get a sense of the UHLF's mission. We spend a lot of time getting to know the UHLF and the undercurrent of everybody who are involved and what they see for UHLF beyond just our scholarship programs and some of the events we run and our Project Love and Care with our orphans. In general, what is the overall mission for such a powerful university that's been investing in education for all these years? Let's get to know UHLF's mission. Okay, and they're not ready yet because why would they be? Because we want more money from you guys. Actually, if you could go onto our Facebook page, UHLF68, and start commenting. If you want to send us $240,000 right through Facebook, that's fine. That's no problem. Will I make you feel guilty? No. But is this for a great cause? Yes. So what kind of students, what are some of the things that students are studying over there in Palestine? They're studying, as we had talked with Dr. Sabri, everything. So the more money that comes in, more resources such as cameras, equipment, studios, any kind of, I'm just happy to look at the stuff here, and the type of money that's involved to learn a skill set is really key. So every single dollar counts, every single dollar, not to mention who knows what other variables of types of industries that they want to study had the money been available. Judy Abermashan, or Judy A, just donated $1,000. Thank you so much, Judy A. Thank you so much. Again, for this time here, if you want, Arwa, did Arwa donate? Arwa just donated $250. Thank you, Arwa. Thank you so much. I guess this is just going to be a family fair. All the families that are involved in UHL have been keeping it alive for years. Thank you so much. This is really a truly family event. Also, the Shadam Ali, $500. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Apologies for not being able to pronounce the names. We have a crew here that's working tirelessly to write them down. The amount of effort that's going into this fundraiser is truly, truly a feat of only God's proportion. So thank you so much for spending your Christmas Eve with us. All right, why don't we go into the next segment and really get to know UHLF's mission?
The United Holy Land Fund is the very first Palestinian American nonprofit tax-exempt organization in the United States. And its mission never changed.
The mission of the UHLF is to put a smile on a Palestinian child and a Palestinian student anytime we can. That's our mission. That's our mission.
To uplift the life of the Palestinian society.
I think the most amazing about my job is meeting generous American Palestinians, American Arabs, and Americans who actually give of their hard-earned money to see a needy student get education. It is a firm belief in them that education is the most important thing an individual could have.
What keeps me engaged that when I feel that what I do, it makes a difference back home. Because I follow what's going on there. I see how much our people in need for us. No matter how much we do over here, they're still in need. So that's what keeps me going. It doesn't matter. I always say if we keep like, even though I said we collected in the first fundraiser 651 and now we are 592, I wish I have double that, because if we have double, one of my goals also in there is to double the number of orphans and double the number of the scholarships.
In 50 years of being in the United Land Fund, with the United Land Fund, we never had to tell a student we don't have a tuition for you, or an orphan we don't have money to sponsor you. Thank God we are blessed. What we did in the past and what we're currently doing is okay. Now we need to go beyond okay. We need to be aware, and that will require the efforts of the newer generation, those who were born here, of whether it's American Palestinians, Arab Palestinians, or American. This is the most challenging. The transfer to the new generation, passing on, probably the most challenging thing.
I love the music. I'm sorry, I keep dancing, and they're like, "I'm gonna stop dancing. We're gonna put you on camera." Thank you, all of you that are donating. And sometimes we forget people. So why don't we mention? I'd like to mention a few of Samir Tufaha, a board member and the secretary of executive committee. Sorry, Abu Nabil. Sorry, we didn't mention you earlier. You forgive us though, right? Because this is UHLF. This is where we fight. We come together. We're continuing to push the mission forward. So thank you so much. Are you ready for our next live in-person conversation? This next speaker, keynote speaker requires really no introduction. He's a family friend. He is on the forefront of education and technology, and he's the chancellor. Dean of Student Affairs. Dean of Student Affairs at the largest university in Palestine. There's a lot of affairs. That's a lot of affairs. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Quds Open University, Dr. Shaheen. Hello, hello. Can you hear us? Can we hear you? Hello, salam. How are you?
أهلين وعليكم
Camera.
السلام.
Where's your camera? We want to see your beautiful face.
Camera. I don't know why.
That's okay. We'd love to hear from you, and we know that you have so much to share about Quds Open University. Would you like to continue, or should I do a question and answer?
Could you manage something for the camera?
From here, I wish, Doctor. I don't know how to fix your camera, but why don't you just go ahead and just speak? We can all hear you, and I'll just stay here and I'll be with you. Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah.
Tell us what's going on with Al Quds University. What's new over there at QOU?
Yeah. Thank you, Mona. Thank you for your efforts and your kind presenting. Thank you, Holy Land Fund, Mr. Qasim, Abu Mishan, Fadwa, and all the staff, of course, for giving me this opportunity to meet and talk to you from Ramallah, Palestine. I just eat dips from Halhul, and that's why I'm feel so healthy.
Alhamdulillah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are very pleased to be among you today and would like to convey the greetings of the president of Al Quds Open University, as well the university students and staff, to all of you and your families. May you be safe and healthy in light of the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic. Dear all, Al Quds Open University is renowned for being one of the largest Palestinian universities, spread across 18 academic branches all over Palestine, from Rafah in the south to Jenin in the north. The university is a home for more than 50,000 students, mostly from low economic households and harsh social standings. These students' socioeconomic situations prevent them from completing their academic programs within conventional universities' time frame. Al Quds Open University provides what it can from grants and financial aids to students according to its capabilities. These funds are part of the university budget and are granted within specific conditions and criteria. The other part of the funding depends on aids provided by external parties from partners, institutions, and associations in Palestine and abroad, which help to alleviate some of the students' financial burdens. Atop of these associations is the United Holy Land Fund, which has worked and still working hard to alleviate the financial burden of many Palestinian students suffering since 1968. This generous institution has worked relentlessly to help Palestinians regardless of their backgrounds and strengthen their presence to improve their health, education, economic, and social circumstances. Ladies and gentlemen, the Palestinian higher education sector comprises 53 higher educational institutions, which include 18 universities, 17 university colleges, and 18 community colleges. Provides higher education services to more than 282,000 students. For more than 15 years, thousands of Palestinian university students benefiting from this grant, which facilitated their education journey and provided psychological comfort to them and their families. This scholarship is unique and differ from other grants by being for the start of the semester registration process. This is on benefiting students to offer our sense, appreciation, and gratitude to the United Holy Land Fund. We hope that this grant will be continue and extend to include a larger number increase in the number of students at Al-Quds Open University and all Palestinian universities. It's imperative to say here that the continuity of the scholarship help providing students with psychological stability, which will positively affect their academic achievement, contribute to their ability to think positively, enriching their study plans, and increase their focus, allowing them to move forward in their future. We noticed along the line that the students benefiting from these scholarships have clearly improved their academic performance. We truly not exaggerate when we say that the association grant through joy and happiness to thousands of Palestinian households in the form of hope for those students in completing their university education. I will never forget the words uttered by a female student who benefited from your grant when she said, "I could not contain myself when I heard that the grant had been deposited in my university account. I burst into tears from the joy I felt because I lost hope in continuing my academic program. I was about to put my studies on hold as my father's health and our overall economic situation was a nightmare. But this grant relieved a huge burden on my family and dispelled all my fears related to their inability of my parents to provide the needed fees in order to complete my academic program. This is because it's not just an education or economic situation or any other issue, but it's also a part of our identity, struggle, dreams, hope, and our future. Therefore, we call all the Palestinian and Arab communities to continue providing their generous support to this association. however they can, so that it can continue its pioneering and distinguished role in serving the Palestinian students and give hope for the future to our community. In this regard, we call for increasing the number of students benefiting from this scholarship by developing the budget and the reactivation of the proposal to establish a special fund for Palestinian universities to support students in what's may called pay it forward manner. This means that each student who had benefited from the grant will help at a later stage support other students after graduating and finding an appropriate job. This will come as part of our social responsibility toward the association first and our colleagues, especially since they received assistance when they mostly needed it to complete their educational programs. Your work makes a difference. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Do you mind if I ask you a quick question?
Yeah, you can.
Are you with me yet? Okay, perfect. I wanted to know where are the majority of your students coming from? Are they traveling throughout, or are classes right now currently online?
You know that Al-Quds Open University using what's called blended learning, and we are distributed geographically through all Palestine by our 18 branches from Rafah in the south to Jenin in the north. So our students, most of our students are females. We have about 69% of our students are females. Some of them are mothers and fathers. We have also a lot of students from from the blended learning students. We have a program inside the Israeli prisons. We have 1,000 students inside five prisons inside the prison. Yeah.
Wow. Inside the Israeli prisons.
About 3,000 students that are, yeah. This program was started in 2014 with something related to the higher education ministry, Open University, and the prisoner situation. And we have in this year we have 252 graduated from this program inside these 5 prisons. In all Palestinian branches to further education and to be a student in Al-Quds Open University. Also, the fees in the university are very low compared to other universities, and we have in each year we have many scholarships for example, we have scholarships for students that are brothers. Some branches like Jenin branch, we have 5 brothers, for example, in the university. Sometimes we have the grandfather, we have the father, and we have the son in the same
Wow.
branch.
Oh, so it's kind of like UHLF. The family's all involved then.
Same class. Yeah. Of course.
Wow.
And some people
thank you so much.
We are talking about families. Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead. Continue. Family dynasty. You were going to say
talking about families. Yeah. When we are talking about sometimes it's right, but when we are talking, for example, for a worker gains 2,000 shekels, which is about $600, for example. It's not easy for him to continue his study without a scholarship or without a funding from other institutions.
Thank you so much. And you know, your story is key for everyone who's at home listening. The impact of your donation. Again, you can send money to 243-725 because what Dr. Shaheen brought up is a very important point in education. The difference between continuing your education and giving up on it because of family issues or living in occupation where maybe you'll be doing your homework with no light. The difference can be $100. So all of our donors really understand the impact your money is having because Dr. Shaheen may not be Dr. Shaheen if it wasn't for some kind, generous donations. Is that not the case, Doctor?
Yeah, that's the case. And we are talking about hard situation, especially economic situation in Palestine this year because of the pandemic and the economic situation in Palestine. This will reflect on the higher education institutions, on the students, and the situation in these universities and how to improve this situation.
Thank you so much. Is there any other final words you'd like for all of the viewers here? You know, again, we really appreciate that this was all in English because if I had to give a speech such as yourself in full-on Arabic, I think the Palestinian Authority would probably I think they would take my Palestine card away. So thank you so much for it all being in English. Are there any final words that you want those viewers at home that are new to Palestine, they're new to the Palestinian cause, and they're new to the Open University? What would you like to share? Any last words?
Thank you very much, Holy Land Fund. When I was there in Chicago, I feel that I was in Palestine before 3 years because all the people there are so kind. The students in our university, in all universities, because I always contact the Dean of Student Affairs in all universities, they said to you all, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Shaheen. We'll be in touch again. Thank you for supporting the UHLF. We really appreciate it. Be safe back home. We'll be in touch. All the best. So we've got some more donations coming through. We're really excited. All right. Are you guys ready for? Got a list. We got a lot of names coming in. Hisham, thank you so much for your 1,000. Abu Fadi, thank you so much for your 1,000. Jihad, thank you so much for your 1,000. Abbas Darwish, thank you so much for your 1,000. Donna Butner, my very first fan in stand-up comedy from the Schaumburg Improv, donated $100. She has been a support of me and what I do for all these years. Thank you so much for supporting a charity that means the world to me. Thank you. Abu Faris of Bawadi. This whole place smells like garlic in general all the time because of your support. Your support has been tremendous. Thank you for your 1,000. Hardoon, thank you so much for your 600. The Abermashan tribe, I love it. We're always like, hey, let's go support each other. Thank you so much. All of the Abermashans working individually in their own little, whatever we do, each of us. So thank you for your 500, Ammo. Thank you, Ammo Badr, for 500. Thank you, Ammo Faras. Thank you so much for all the donations. Also, a community member just recently is recovering from open heart surgery. All right. Thank you so much, Naeem Abdul Jawad. Thank you so much. A lot of us American-born Palestinians, we need a little bit more etiquette training when it comes to names. Sometimes we don't know how to pronounce names in the right way. So even my cousin and I, he goes by Jawad Abermashan. I go by Jawad Abermashan or Abermashan. But so sometimes when we pronounce names differently, just be graceful with us. And we wish you a speedy recovery. Salamtak. Again, this may be televised, but it's still a classic UHLF event. And for those of you who have attended a classic UHLF event on the south side of Chicago or in Jersey, you know that there's some serious components right now. If you're at home, you might be feeling, but as a collective, let's remember some of those. Usually there's a little kid crying somewhere. There's a little kid maybe eating a chair. There is a jidda that's yelling at somebody to do something. That's a grandma, if you're not sure. There's 13 cell phones going off all at the same time, probably from the same ammo back home. Where's my falafel or whatever they're saying, right? What else is going on? There's usually, I'm sure you're like, man, I really wish I could buy some hattat. Like there's our kafiyah, our Palestinian scarves, right? We normally want to, how come we're not selling this? Next time at our telethon, inshallah, around the end of Ramadan during Eid, we'll be able to do some live raffles and all that stuff. But pulling together this brand new UHLF TV production company was our first goal. Inshallah, next time we'll be able to have all fun, like raffle prizes. We'll have little kids running through here, and we'll still be able to raise, inshallah, $1 million for education. So, our next guest is someone that's extremely special to me, as they all are, because she is a Chicago Palestinian Irish, right? A lot of our community, like Dr. Bland, my father, those of us that have created mixed families, create mixed family children that have passions that are around both of our identities or all three of our identities. We had a British comedian. I'm actually part British, right? So being able to have that kind of mix is great. And so when I met our next presenter, she's working on a podcast series that'll blow your mind. I met her at DePaul University where we're working on our master's degree. Her master's project was a podcast series called Connecting the Fragments about Palestinian identity and Palestinian diasporic identity, the diaspora of Palestinians around the world, more focused on what does it look like to connect those fragments to create what is truly a Palestinian identity. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the studios. Before we listen to our podcast, I want to chat with my good friend, Ghada Morar. How are you, Ghada?
Hi, I'm so
happy to be here right now, girl. You're so cute. You guys don't trip on Ghada. Ghada is Chicagoan and she's adorable with her Christmas tree in the background. She's Palestinian Irish, but she's like 1,000% Chicago. She's probably, don't cross her. She'll like, right?
Hey, don't give people the wrong assumption about me.
No. I love it. So tell us more about this journey that you had with this podcast series. You know, it's really innovative, not just to do a podcast series around something so heavy as the Palestinian conversation, but you utilized it as part of your master's process. Like, tell us more.
So yeah, it did come out of my thesis project. And I was looking at notions of Palestinian existence tied to resistance, because, you know, the saying existence is resistance. And I wanted to know, why does existence have to mean resistance, right? Why can't it just mean that Palestinians get to live? Why can't our existence mean that? And so that question led me down a rabbit hole of examining what Palestinian existence actually looks like. Like you mentioned earlier, I'm Palestinian Irish from Chicago. And, you know, and you're Palestinian British from Chicago. And we look like this. The Palestinian community looks very diverse, and we are dispersed around the world because of our displacement, right? And so I really started looking at that and looking at our fragmentation. And I started looking for resources for my thesis project that kind of encapsulated all of that, where we would talk, where any resource would talk about, you know, okay, the Chicago diaspora, Palestinians in Palestine, in the Middle East. What about South America? What about, you know, like in Europe? And there weren't that many resources out there that really encapsulated all of that. And, you know, in one go. And so then I started looking even deeper, and I said, you know, what about the conversations, the real conversations we're having? Not the conversations that, you know, that happen publicly, where we're constantly educating others, right, about the Palestinian experience. But what about the conversations we're having with ourselves, right? The real conversations, the ones that are unfiltered, the ones that where we just kind of, you know, I'm Palestinian and this is what it means to me, you know, the ones that are candid. And I really wanted to get at the heart of that. And I happen to really like podcasts. And I was like, okay, we need something like this. We need a resource for Palestinians. And I decided to make it. And I wanted to have a space where we could have those conversations, right? About our lives, about our existence, about resistance, and eventually about liberation. And so every episode of mine ends on the topic of liberation. And not just how we get to liberation, which is very important, right? We need to know how to get to liberation. We need to know what steps are already underway regarding liberation. Who's doing the grassroots organizing? Who's doing, you know, the fundraising? What the movements are? But what we also need to know is what liberation means to each of us individually. Because once we envision that, we start calling that into the reality of our existence. And so I wanted to go further and talk about that. And that's what this podcast really is. It's the conversations we have with each other about where we come from, where we are, what our stories individually look like, and where we're going ultimately. How do we get to that liberation? And not just the one that others tell us we're supposed to have, but the ones that we envision for ourselves.
Right.
Because we have the power to do that. And so
Love it.
I wanted to create a space that allowed people to tune in, and a Palestinian in Chicago like me, whose Arabic is so, and, I didn't, necessarily grow up.
Give it up as I go along sometimes. It's all good.
I know. And so I didn't grow up going back home, but I have, when I did finally go to Palestine, it felt like home. And having that experience and wanting anyone to just tune in and say, oh my God, that sounds like my life. That sounds like my experience. To hold space for Palestinians everywhere to connect and reconnect together in a space, in a singular space, and to reconnect not only through those conversations, but through the experiences that you don't typically think of as Palestinian experiences. Because we have these stigmas of what we're supposed to be. And the idea of this podcast is to break all that down and say, no, we exist so diversely and so in a multitude of ways. And you don't even, we need to still kind of wrap our heads around that.
Right. I love it. Okay, great. So what we're going to do is, will you stay in the studio with me while we listen with our live audience, listen to your podcast, the clip that you sent us, and maybe field some questions that come through, or just you and I'm sure I'm going to come up with a bunch of questions because I was one of your subjects. And when you interviewed us, I'm sure it resonated with everyone else. And I want the viewers at home to really get present to what it must be like to, on a professional platform, speak your truth. I think that a lot of us that are half Palestinian, half anything else, feel half. We don't feel full. We don't feel whole. But what's becoming now the norm, as we're seeing here, is the blend, the Palestinian mix. That's becoming its own identity. If I walk around the world, I'm often sometimes feeling like, as a British Palestinian American, I'm everything wrong with the world. I've occupied myself and I'm validating my own occupation from my other ethnicity. So there are times we're walking around like that. We don't get the credit we deserve of having potentially tripolar disorder, because if you were afforded the opportunity to literally go back home, you understand that in Palestine, there's a lot of occupation that's being funded by or supported by this beautiful country of ours. So there are times where we feel like we've occupied ourselves. And you add in some of these other ethnicities. If you can go to Ireland, or if you can go to the United Kingdom and you really connect with your own roots, it puts in even more of a mix. So it truly allows us to be global citizens. So this platform and your platform and the work that you're doing is so innovative. And thank you for being on the forefront of choosing that, because there aren't a lot of Ghadas out there necessarily that you probably found when you were doing your work. So you are a visionary, and in 10 years' time, we're going to see a lot more of what your impact has. So why don't we go ahead and listen to your audio, and then we'll chat more after. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, cool. We're going to play it now. Here we go. Connecting the Fragments by Gada.
A space where Palestinians can return to each other despite wherever they reside around the globe is a podcast which goes deeper into understanding the multitude of ways that Palestinians.
So we're just waiting. Fly. Okay. we're going to get it. It's going to come soon. We're new at production at UHLF TV.
I remember when growing up,
we're having an issue with that particular thing. But why don't we do this? Why don't we cover the subject that was actually covered in your podcast, which really looked at hospitality? So do you want to kind of give us a little bit of a snippet of the question that you asked and what the response was? Because it was a really rich response.
So in that clip, I was talking to one of the guests on the podcast, and we were talking about mixing, the traditions of our grandparents and, our parents and our grandparents with how we live today, and how we live here in Chicago in the US versus how we live back home. And we talked about how back home, and even in our grandparents' generation, people could just stop by your house and spend like the entire afternoon and maybe sleep over and like stay for lunch and dinner. It was so widely accepted.
نامي نام شو نامي لازم تفضلي نامي تفضلي.
So, I remember growing up and as soon as the day started, you had to make sure everything was perfect. You had to have stuff ready in case people were coming over. You have to have food and drinks and everything prepared, right? And so we were kind of joking about that. And we were joking about how we like our privacy. I want a week's notice before I know you're coming over.
Right.
And that's pretty much what the conversation was saying. And my guest was talking about how she tries to find a balance between the two so that her daughters can experience that cultural tradition while also holding space for her own personal boundaries. And so we were talking about how we are kind of going forward in finding a balance between those two. And then the rest of the clips were snippets from my guests talking about what their idea of liberation was. And I actually talked to my dad. One of the conversations that I have is with my father, with my baba. And his idea of a liberated Palestine is heaven. That's what he calls
heaven,
it.
right?
It's heaven. It's heaven.
Connecting the
Hey,
fragments.
it's possible, right?
Yeah,
it's possible, correct?
Despite wherever they reside around the globe.
So,
With a podcast,
so
it
that
goes
is,
deeper
those are
into
the kind of
understanding the multitude of
conversations
ways that
we're having. I'm not sure. I
all
hear the
create
audio
freedom.
playing in the background.
Knowing that
Do you
our
hear it?
existence is more
Yes.
than just resistance.
Okay,
Me
so
and the
if
guests
you
talk
hear
about
it,
it all.
I mean,
maybe
if everybody else is
From
hearing it.
laughter, anger,
Yeah.
sorrow,
If I stay
determination,
quiet,
happiness, and hope. The conversations
there are
here are the
angels
ones
that
we
are
had in our
grateful that
living
I'm
rooms
us
growing
quiet.
up, and the ones we
But if
still
the audio is playing great, but that's the thing is that this is a premiere. So for the viewers at home, thank you for being patient. But Ghada has been so kind as to it's not even finished editing. We were able to get little clips that weren't even done editing. So we're really grateful. But why don't we continue the conversation? So one of the things that you brought up is our type of hospitality. Palestinian hospitality is its own beast. Okay, we tend to be the person that's in the room with a group of us, right? Ghada, let's say you and I and 4 of our non-Palestinian, non-Arab friends go out for dinner, non-Muslim too. We all go out for dinner. Bet who's going to pay?
Oh, the Arabs are fighting over the check at the end of the day, and I and I promise you, whoever ends up paying is going to feel the wrath of the person who did not get to pay for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Not like the rest of the night, not the week, their lives.
Right.
They'll never forget. And
they're like, let me next time. Let me next time show up and you pay for everybody. Let me next time, inshallah. The threats of generosity. No wonder our land is like occupied. We're like, listen, you go ahead. Oh, wow. Oh, everybody. Oh, okay. Wow. That's okay. Right?
That's exactly what it's like.
This is all of the Europeans. Fantastic. Let's just shake it off. We'll create a whole new country called the Holy Land. It'll take us, I don't know, almost 80 years, but we'll get there.
And I always find it hilarious, especially when you have those 2 ammos who are like ancient. We love them. They're ancient, and they're the ones fighting because you can't step in. You have to let them. They have to go at each other until one of them finally, is the successful conqueror.
What's one thing? Hey, how about this? We're going to take message. We're going to ask in for questions live. Ask a Palestinian woman any question you want. Go ahead, field it. We're going to take questions from UHLF68 at our Facebook page, or you can come into our I believe YouTube, right? YouTube, is it UHLF.org or is it UHLF68? We're taking live streaming questions. I would like our audience to really ask, what is it like to be a Palestinian American or a Palestinian woman? There's a lot of little things. Like one of the things that you reminded me of, and I can't believe I forgot, was just how powerful our natural ingredients are that we use day to day for a woman's skin. COVID's put us in a box, but we're like, I don't need my moisturizer from Target, girl. I got my olive oil. Like, serious. So tell us some about your beauty regimens, some of your holistic natural practices that are rooted in your relationship to Palestine.
So one of them that you just mentioned is olive oil. And so my sitlo growing up, she used olive oil as a moisturizer. And she used it for my hair and everything. And So I still hold space for that. I use olive oil as my facial oil every night. And I use it, you know, when I want to like deeply moisturize my hair and do one of those treatments, I use olive oil. And, you know, some people will say olive oil is too heavy for your skin. But I feel if you're a Palestinian, if you're Arab, your skin naturally loves it. It soaks it in. I can't get enough of it. I never break out from it. It's beautiful. And so that's one of the things and whenever I'm not feeling good, I definitely have a cup of chai of Maramia Ukrea, and like that's my go-to, you know what I mean? And it's these little home remedies.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Did you ever have so one of the things my grandmother did is if we had an open wound, a cut, a big gash, and we as an American, like, oh my God, let's go to the hospital. Let's go. Jiddu was like, jibit gahwa, jibit gahwa, jibit gahwa. She would put coffee in the open wound. Did your grandma do that?
I've seen my grandmother do that.
My Jiddu was also, she would take a lemon and she would squeeze it in her eye. I'm like, what asir vision is this? I love it. Did you have that too?
No, I didn't. But my grandmother
I did
also used to do this, which is really weird. And I think this was a cross between, you know, her roots in Palestine and her, you know, coming to the U.S. She used to crush up aspirin and put it inside the wounds. Yeah, it would.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. No. But I asked her about it once because she did it to me, and that was so painful. And she said that was something they used to do back around the 6-Day War if somebody was having if they had an injury. And so that was like one of the cross between the cultures is when, you know, medicine started coming in and you had, you know, just people making homemade remedies.
Absolutely.
And I think there's some kind of medical explanation there that I can't explain properly.
Well, I think that's the thing. One of the things that we're really missing that I'm finding, at least in my own personal life journey, as they say in America, my journey, I'm holding space for really getting grounded. This is all new lingo, but what it is really tapping into our indigenous health practices. You know, one of the things I noticed is going back to Palestine. Often I would get requests, you know, your family so you had said you didn't go back home a lot growing up. I did. My sisters and I, we did. We went almost every summer, and every summer we would get a laundry list of stuff that we would want back home. And for those of you that are back home, I want to know where all these things are. All right. Muna, bidna Ray-Ban law samahti. We want Ray-Ban sunglasses, aviator, so that we're looking at the Israeli soldiers with clear Ray-Ban vision. Leishlet. This is not sponsored in part by Ray-Ban, but inshallah, Ray-Ban is somewhere texting to 243-725 at UHLF and donating a whole bunch of Ray-Ban, inshallah. The other thing that all my uncles want, bidna kaboy. Shu yani kaboy? Jeans. They wanted some good old blue jeans. They didn't like Dockers, all right? You can't be like a grown dad in Palestine. You got to be a hip revolutionary. You got to have kaboy or Ray-Ban. Like you have to have that. Nice t-shirts, or aqua. You need perfume. Clearly, I was preparing for the Palestinian men to be marriable. I don't know. Maybe they were looking for, maybe that was a setup so he could get me to buy him like dowry and clothes so he can get maybe married. Maybe that's what I was getting coerced in. But in general, adding those kinds of things, they also wanted medicine, a lot of penicillin, a lot of NyQuil. So a lot of these medicines, I was like, why are we bringing this back home when then I'm back home and I'm sick and you're giving me Yansoon and you're giving me Maramia? So I really wonder, are Palestinian Americans tapping into more of their own indigenous holistic health practices as we're taking this new kind of turn in American culture to tap into our own holistic practices? What are you seeing?
I think there is. I think there's a mixture between, you know, the idea of like modern medicine in the Western world and definitely that like indigenous, you know, practices that your mom, your grandmother, you know, your great grandmother, like I grew up hearing stories about my great grandfather, and every morning he would take a shot of olive oil and eat a raw egg. And they claimed that was the reason why he lived to be 115. And he was 115, still walking, still talking, so coherent. He could, you know, he was functioning like very well, still working in the fields up until some of his last days. And he says, I'm so sorry, I cannot hear you, Muna. Your mic is off, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
Going.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So I've always like wondered, I'm like, man, maybe I need to start doing shots of olive oil and like a raw egg every day. But the idea of the raw egg freaks me out. And so
I know it's too Rocky Balboa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But maybe there's something better.
Yeah, but I would say, and then we'll end here. But my Mushahada, he's physically like a bit of an ox, and every morning that shot of olive oil, like I tried it a couple times, and I'm like, oh God, this is so intense. Where's the za'atar? To try to get all that down in once has been a lot. So thank you so much, Ghada. Any last words? And let us know, where can we find you? Let us know if you can, just like a little sneak peek on when your podcast is going to drop and how we can get to know more of you, because you have so much just wisdom that I'm sure all of us want to hear more about.
Well, so I just want to say that this right here, us going back and forth, is kind of an example of some of the conversations we have. We talk about, everything, and it's just like a regular conversation. And I want to emphasize that that's what the podcast is. You can find me at Connecting the Fragments on Facebook. That page will soon be active and going within the next week or so. So look out there. And then on all your platform streaming services, you can find me at Connecting the Fragments in about the next 2 weeks, I would say.
Thank you so much. Thank you again. And stay in touch with us so that we can share all of your stuff with UHLF and all the other. Don't forget, you may be able to provide a certain skill set to some of the university students that we're connecting here in this this telethon. Thank you, Aganda. Thank you for joining us in the studio. It means the world to us. And I'm going to talk to you later, girl. I'll talk to you later. Bye, honey. Bye. All right. Why don't we do this? Why don't we check in with our thermometer? Because we just got a message from our friends in New York. What's up, New York? What's up, New York? From Muhammad Saleh from Beit Maqdis. I'm sorry, you guys. I want to be cool and say it the right way, but I'll take time. You donated $10,000, yo. Like, thank you. Thank you from our generous donate. Wow. Thank you so much. We've got a lot of numbers that are coming through here. Please, thank you so much to Ziad brothers, the Nubani family, Peta In. You guys, the donations, like sometimes our donors love us so much that they just are like, here, just take it. And we're so grateful. We really are grateful. And you know that our dollars go right where they're supposed to go, so persnickety that the integrity of the organization is something that is the foundation whereby people are generously donating. So thank you again. For those of you who are at home, UHLF, type UHLF, text it to 243725. Now, let's go into our next video, which really does highlight the importance of your dollar. Like, why are you donating this much money? Because our commitment to education is paramount. Palestinian around the world is known that no matter what, you have to get your education, no matter what, because then no one can ever mess with your mind. You're always grounded and secure. So the next video we'll be looking at is the UHLF's commitment to education.
My story of coming to the United States is to get education. And when I found an organization, the United Julian Fund, that is education oriented, it was just natural for me to be part of it.
The most memorable moment when I see, when I go and meet the orphans and the students at the universities. Those are unbelievable. Because when I go back home and meet those students at the universities, those are, you cannot buy them with money. When you see the smile on the students and the orphans, those are just, there's no money you can buy with this. Just so unbelievable. When they say thank you, I said, no, don't thank us. This is our job, and this is our duty.
I happened to visit with the director, Mr. Abu Misham, and other members of the United Fund, like Dr. Qasim Plan, Mahmoud Zahra, Isam Maalla from New York, and Samir Tufaha, and other members from New York, New Jersey. We visit the universities in Palestine. We visit each and every university. every year in the summer during our vacation. We spend the whole month going from north, south, east, west of Palestine, except we can't go to Gaza. And we see the need of the students, and we see how much they appreciate it. We meet head on with them. We see their grades. We tell them our opinion. If their average is below, we warn them. We don't take it away from them, we warn them. We create a very good communication between us and them to actually promote the program.
And one of those years, a student came to me and she said, Ammo, this is Aisha. I said, yeah. She said, I'm the one who helped me to go to American University in Jenin. I am a dentist now. I said, okay. I don't remember Aisha. I remember probably her name. She said, well, if you didn't send me the money, my parents wanted me to get married right there and then. Now I'm a dentist. I can pick who I would want to marry. Otherwise, they would have married me off to anybody. That's what keeps me engaged, to give the people, the students, a chance to better their lives. Eventually, that will propel the entire society to be a better society. And educated Palestinians is a must. We don't have much of a choice but to be educated. We invest in education because it is our only way out of poverty and probably freedom. Even under the occupation, we tend to fight the Israelis better when we are educated than we are not. Ultimately, any society that is educated, it is a better society. It's a more democratic society. Eventually, that is the goal. We want a better society.
Education is the most important vehicle for our people. Nobody can take education away from you. They can take anything away from you, but not education. That's why education is very, very important for our people. So that's why we narrowed our education, our program to education, and of course to orphans, because orphanage also is very important. That's why.
The organization basically believes education is the way out of poverty. It's a secure way of democracy. The Palestinian society needs to produce leaders who believe in the future, and the future is without education, there is none.
Are you guys ready? We have been receiving some great donations, but we're only a third of the way there. Are we able to pull up the thermometer? We have, thank you so much, Yabrud, you've donated $3,000. Thank you, Ammo. Thank you so much, Abu Ammar. Thank you so much, Abu Ammar. Thank you. To the Basta family, thank you so much for your support. And I mean this dearly. Your support has been coming in throughout the whole year, throughout many years. But this year in particular, we have COVID and your generous donations. One of the things that we haven't mentioned here is the kind of push that we got from some of the other fundraisers that we did. We wanted this in particular to finish our goal of the year and really get 250,000. We only have 59,000 yet. So again, text, please, or contact the Hajj, how you normally send in the money. Thank you so much. The Nabil and Nimr, thank you so much. Wali Ayash, thank you so much. Thank you. We'd like to acknowledge Hajj Ray and Arif Musa and brothers for their continued support. The amount of support you guys have been providing. My father, the executive director of UHLF, has been tremendous. It means the world. And I really don't want to overstep here. In New York, the Beit al-Maqdis group, Beit al-Maqdis this year, they raised $400,000 in New York. I'm just saying, let's get up there. If we can get over 250, we still have time. We have still a little bit more, about a half an hour left or so of our telethon, or 40 minutes or so. We really want to push, please. please. You can go to uhlf.org and you can donate there. You can also donate by texting UHLF to 243725, as we have on the screen. Okay, ready for some more? Let's see what's going on at Quds University. Quds Open University. We spoke earlier, so why don't we see what they have to say?
أنا الطالب صهيب وليد أحمد خصيب من مدينة رام الله، سكان قرية عرورة، حاصل على منحة الجمعية الخيرية المتحدة للأرض المقدسة ومعدل 80. قدمت هذه المنحة عن طريق كتاب الطلب الإلكتروني، وأحب أشكر الجمعية الخيرية المتحدة للأرض المقدسة على هذه المنحة، ساعدتني على استكمال تعليمي. لولا المنحة ما كنت كملت تعليمي، كان أنا هسه عامل، وبشكرهم.
منحة الجمعية الخيرية المتحدة للأرض المقدسة. هذه الجمعية التي نعتز بها وبأعضائها وبالمقيمين عليها، حيث أن هذه الجمعية تقدم منحا دراسية ومساعدات مالية لطلبتنا في الجامعات الفلسطينية، ولعلنا في جامعة القدس المفتوحة أكثر المستفيدين، حيث تقدم هذه الجمعية منحا منذ أكثر من 15 عام لطلبة الجامعة. وفي هذا العام اللي هو 2020-2021 تقدمت بحوالي 113 منحة ل 113 طالب، بحيث تؤدي إلى نتائج طيبة بالنسبة لنفسية الطالب وأهله، وكذلك يكون لها الأثر الطيب على أدائه وتحصيله العلمي في الجامعة.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أنا الطالب براء حسن عثمان سلمة من سكان قرية بير نبالة، أدرس في جامعة القدس المفتوحة فرع رام الله والبيرة، تخصص إدارة أعمال. أتقدم بخالص الشكر والامتنان للجمعية الخيرية المتحدة للأراضي المقدسة التي ساعدتني في إكمال دراستي، وأتمنى أن تدوم معنا هذه المنحة حتى التخرج. وإن شاء الله بعد التخرج وحصولي على وظيفة سأتواصل مع هذه الجمعية ولو بجزء بسيط من المال حتى نساعد بقية الطلبة الآخرين في إكمال دراستهم.
من هذا المنطلق أنا شخصيا كرئيس لجامعة القدس المفتوحة أحيي هؤلاء القوم الذين غادروا بلادهم وأوطانهم وغادروا شعبهم وذويهم منذ فترات مختلفة، ولكنهم بقت أرواحهم ومشاعرهم ومسؤولياتهم في هذه الأرض وبين شعبهم وذويهم، فلم يتوانوا أبدا في اللحظة التي ملكوا القدرة على دعم أهلهم وذويهم ووطنهم. بادروا منذ زمن طويل إلى تقديم العون والمساعدة. فهذه الجمعية نكن لأعضائها كل الاحترام والتقدير، وبخاصة الهيئة الإدارية الذين يزورون الوطن في بين حين وآخر ويتابعون جهودهم ومنحهم التي تقدمها جمعيتهم لسائر الطلبة في الجامعات الفلسطينية وبخاصة في القدس المفتوحة، ونحن نستقبلهم بكل الاحترام والتقدير. ومن هذا المنطلق أسجل تقديرا واحتراما للهيئة الإدارية للجمعية بأعضائها جميعا، وعلى رأسهم الحاج محمد أبو رميشان. ومن خلال هذا الرجل نحيي جميع أفراد الجمعية فردا فردا، ونقدم التحية والتقدير لجميع أهلنا وذوينا في المهاجر عموما وفي الولايات المتحدة بشكل خاص على شعورهم بالمسؤولية تجاه شعبهم وتجاه وطنهم. بالتالي أشكرهم وأرحب بجهودهم وأدعوهم إلى مواصلة هذا العمل الخير، وأرحب بهم في أرض الوطن ضيوفا على جامعة القدس المفتوحة أيا منهم وفي أي وقت يشاءون.
We got some more money, guys. Thank you so much. We got some more money. So also we have Mohamed Saleh and his brother, 10,000. Thank you so much for New York. Thank you. Yeah, we're just correcting. We're correcting it. Hey, Dad, anybody else? We're reading more money. We got 5,000 from Anonymous. Thank you, Anonymous. We anonymously thank you. Actually, we're beyond anonymous. We're obviously thanking you. But thank you for your 5,000. Where does that take us, guys? We need 250,000. Inshallah, I want 1 million. I really want 1 million for these students. I want to close out this year, this 2020, with 1 million for UHLF student scholarship program. Inshallah, please. Let's bust through that. Come on. All right. How many Palestinians have more than one car in the garage? I'll wait. How many Palestinians, like my Ammo said, my Ammo texted me, he's like, Mona, it's 60 cell phone cases. Make sure that you're correct. Please donate. Again, UHLF, you're texting UHLF to the number 243-725. Or go to the website. Hey, Dad, you want to come on camera and tell everybody what to do? Come here.
Assalamu alaikum. If you can't get your donation done by text, please visit our website, uhlf.org, and donate as much as you can and as many as you can.
Yeah.
Back to Mona.
Thank you. Give it up for. Thanks. Oh, and Abu Hudayfa, thank you for the $500, Abu Hudayfa. And thank you for everything you do here at the fund. Abu Hudayfa, you really do take care of us and any kind of thing that we want. You really are family, so we really appreciate it. And you spend a lot of time playing Shedda with my dad here in the fund when, Dad, what are you doing? Well, I'm Shedda. Oh, why are you Shedda late at night? So thank you so much for creating UHLF as a family affair. Now, our next piece of entertainment truly is one of my favorite. And she's a volunteer, and she was our makeup artist, and she helped so much today, and she put together content. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to present my cousin Noura as you'll see here.
من همسة حب لقيتني بحب وادوب في الحب وادوب في الحب وصبح وليل على باب.
Come here, Noura. Come here. You guys, she's backstage. Wasn't she great? Come on, Noura, say hi real quick. Just say hi. Hi. We need to continue to support our Palestinian American talent. The new Kulthum, inshallah. Can you sing actually very well? No, she's like, leave me alone. She's like, get out. I'm professional TikTok. I don't know what you're talking about. No, but we really do need to support our talent, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to be a singer, an actress, any of that, please contact me at Mona Comedy. I'm running classes and workshops on how the impact of stand-up comedy and really speaking your truth, as whether it's you're Palestinian American or you're a girl or whatever it is, feeling comfortable to speak in public, let alone on camera. You guys don't know how terrified I am. So that comes with feeling comfortable and really feeling that our community does actually want performers, entertainers, all of it. It's all going on back home. It should be going on here. So thank you so much, Nuda, for your performance. All right. Now, the next part is also a beautiful part because we're going to have a conversation really looking at what is the future of UHLF. And personally, when you're watching this video, I ask you to contemplate that whether you're an American born or you've immigrated to the United States or anywhere outside of Palestine and you're a Palestinian, what truly in your heart's desire with if you could have any wish come true on your Muslim Christmas Eve, what do you envision as a free Palestine? Let's see what it looks like. Thank you.
My dream for the United Fund is to have another United Fund in Palestine, a satellite one, which we are working on, but I hope it will come true. And my dream also is to have more students sponsored by the United Fund to double and redouble.
I am hoping at one point to make people more involved. I always try to tell everybody, please get more involved so we can support more people. If more people get involved, then we can support more people.
Probably one day can cease to exist because the mission would have been accomplished, where the society can take care of its own students and its own orphans. Until then, we really need the help of everyone. We need the help of those students who graduated and are gainfully employed to help others like them. And we need to see that passed on. I hope one day that all of our money comes from those who graduated because of this program, from the alumni, if you will. This way we'll probably stop asking people for money, so it becomes from the student and to the students, and that can multiply exponentially. I hope one day we can.
My biggest dream is to see the United Land Fund spread from east to west and south to north. That's my biggest dream. And that was my dream in my plan of action.
My dream is to see the United Holy Land Fund able to help thousands, not hundreds, of students, and thousands of orphans, not hundreds. I hope, and my dream actually, to have an endowment for the United Holy Land Fund of millions of dollars, so just the interest of that investment can take care of our orphans and our students. It's a dream, but you never know.
All right. Yay. Wasn't that great? See, have you thought to yourself, what does a free Palestine look like? I hope you have. Now, this is our final push. And for all of our UHLF attendees, for the many, many events that you've come through, and whether you're looking for babysitters or not, you've come and you've supported us tremendously. So in proper UHLF fashion, I'm going to bring out I'm bringing out the podium, guys. I'm bringing out the podium. All right. We're going to do this UHLF style, and we're going to take some live funds. But first, we're going to do a press conference before our executive director comes in. We're going to take questions from the audience. Do you have any questions for the Hedge? Okay, in the back. Yep, go ahead. You're from Your CNN, what do you want? You want to know, when did he go bald? We don't want to talk about that now. Our executive director does not want to talk about when he got bald. Next question from BBC. Is that accent his? No, it's not. He's more Chicagoan than anybody. He says tomorrow. I don't know what that is. Next question. Any other questions in the field? What do we got? Does he tie his own ties? In fact, he does. That is a double Windsor, ma'am. That's a double Windsor. You don't know anything about ties. How many other questions do we have from the field, right? Hajj, how many daughters do you have? 3. I'm the oldest. I'm the favorite. Next, any other questions? Press, please. This is Hajj. Ladies and gentlemen, get up for Immersion. Yalla, let's raise money, guys.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's fun.
Am I on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let me thank you for your help. Let me thank each and every one of you for your donation. I just want to bring up the cost of sponsoring one student. The United Wildan Fund sponsored the students at about $500 every semester, Mona?
Yeah.
Now, the $500 every 6 months. Now, if you divide it by a cup of coffee from Starbucks, it comes up to what?
Dunkin' Donuts. Not everybody likes Starbucks. Some of us like 7-Eleven, and some of us are cab drivers like him.
Anyway,
like Dunkin' Donuts.
It's really less than the price of a cup of coffee every 2 days.
Right.
So with $500 every 6 months.
Every 6 months. $500 every 6 months.
How about $1,000 annually?
I think so, right?
You can put a student, a needy student, remember now, that's a student with a B+ average through 1 year college.
That means all
that's $4,000.
That's not a lot of money.
That's not a lot of money. I know you cost me at DePaul $15,000 a semester. I'm sorry, a year. That's
No. My bill at DePaul after my master's in 2 years.
No, I'm sorry, at Loyola.
We're still paying off for that, like that beautiful. Never mind. Let's go ahead.
Okay.
You were saying.
So
let's talk more about Palestine.
So please consider underwriting the cost of the partial tuition for a student at $500. One student, 2 students, more if you can, or at least 1 semester.
Absolutely.
$500.
Also,
that's not a lot of money.
You're investing in the future of Palestine because, Dad, so like whenever you meet somebody that you know that you funded maybe 10 years ago and they're in a position of either authority or another educator, you invested in the conversation you're having.
Yes. I don't know if I mentioned it in the video, but when we hosted Dr. Ahmed Al-Tibi about 6-7 years ago, he looked at me and he said, Hajj, I have a surprise for you. I said, okay. He said, I will tell it when I get on the podium. He got on the podium and he addressed the audience and he said, I am one of those students who benefited from this scholarship. So you never know who your help goes to who.
Right.
One of these days, Salahuddin will become probably a student of those.
I'm telling you, right?
Yeah.
Also, so during our fundraiser, during our UHLF
I
fundraiser.
gotta answer my phone.
Okay. Wow. So he just left. So during our UHLF fundraisers, Saeed Maali, he's normally our fundraiser, and so he's a little shorter than I am, but he's powerhouse and he's powerful, and he always gets us more than we need. So let's move this here to the side and move our little UHLF fundraising thing to the side, and let's just see how much more money can we get. Do we have any more money coming through, or should I just make it awkward and sit here because it's 45. That means we got 15 more minutes before we hit the stroke of midnight in Palestine. So I'll just wait. Should we do that? Should we just wait and get more, or should we hear from our choir? No, I think we should wait a little bit more. Let's wait for more money to come in. Typically at a fundraiser that's on televised, so a telethon fundraiser. One of the first to ever do that was Jerry Lewis, a comedian. So he would normally entertain you and do zany stuff in between. I can do that. Did you want that? But we only got 15 minutes of it. All right, because we really want to get get a lot higher. And also, we're going to be going live to Bethlehem. We have our feed from Dr. Kumsiye. He's already in the studio, but I want us to come into the whole new Christmas year, Christmas day, with 250,000 in the pocket, in the bank for students. Right. Also, if you can, message us here. We've had some great message feedbacks. I'd love to read some of them if we have. Do you guys remember some of the comments that we got while I was talking to Ghada? We had some lovely comments about how Mona needs to moisturize her face more. Thank you. What else we got? What are some other comments we have? Sittu would use crushed rock sugar in distilled water as eye drops, never granulated, had to be rock sugar, had hand crushed in a mortar and pestle. Allah yarhamha. See? There's a lot of little things, like sometimes crushed almond with oil can be a nice exfoliator. See, this telethon has turned into like a beauty special. Next time when we do our telethon fundraiser, inshallah, we'll be able to like auction cool stuff off. We'll have a lot more sponsorship going on. This was really just a passion of heart. And typically, for those of you that are familiar with UHLF in Chicago, we do a bowling event. And this is in place of that bowling event, which is a lot of fun. One year when I was bowling, I learned that bowling backwards is more of a Palestinian thing. See, those of you who don't know Palestinians, we like to throw rocks. That's kind of probably why we ended up doing bowling, because bowling is Americans throwing rocks. If you've watched the Flintstones, you know it. So any bowling league that I was ever in, when I pull back, you just pull back. And sometimes if that ball's too heavy, I've knocked out a couple family members behind me. And that's usually what happens for our UHLF events here in Chicago for Christmas Eve. It usually involves sometimes Brown's chicken and weird pasta and bread. So if we're ready to get going on the end of this day in Palestine, we really would like some more funds coming through. Again, texting at number 243-725. We've only got 15 minutes. Text in your UHLF. Also, you can go to uhlf.org and you can donate generously there. We actually have been receiving a lot of funds and we haven't put it on the thermometer. But I think, encouraging everybody to just donate is great, right? And you're doing it from the comfort of your home. Some of you are probably driving in the car, rushing to Best Buy to buy anything, because Best Buy is awesome and it's got some good deals lately. I'm making commercials for people that don't even need it. But if you could just tune in and tell your friends at uhlf.org, they can contribute to students. And again, this is a big push for students. We've had some amazing conversations. We spoke to Dr. Sabri. We spoke to Don Wagner. Well, thank you to all of the contributors. Thank you so much to Ghada. Thank you so much. And because we did go over time, we had a game show we were going to show you. We had a really funny infomercial from a fellow Syrian Polish woman that's a good friend of mine here in Chicago, Nadia. We had a lot of contributions. So again, if you want to be involved in our telethon in the future, we are scheduling one for, inshallah, the end of Ramadan. And again, you want to be a part of it, let us know. What are you doing at home? How has COVID impacted you and your world? And knowing that COVID is going on in Palestine, how can we connect one another and raise some great funds through this charity event? So again, texting 243-725, text UHLF, and you follow the link and you can donate. All right. Are we ready to go into the next portion of our funds? What should we show them what the finale is before we go into our lovely choir? Let's go. Let's do the thermometer and see what's going on. All right, we got 65,200. That's great. That is a lot of money. That is a great deal of money. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We still want to get to 250. If you want, we can just hang out here. I should ask Noura to come back and do more Kulthum. Otherwise, we can. Why don't we go to Dr. Kumsiya and chat with Dr. Kumsiya? He's in Bethlehem right now. Why don't we connect with him? All right, we're ready. Let's invite Dr. Kumsiya. He's in Bethlehem, ready to rock and roll. He looks like Santa. Doctor, how are you?
Yes.
Are you at the church
in
nativity?
The front of the church, and I welcome you here to Bethlehem. It's not the usual. We have very few people here. Obvious night message about to start. I am honored to be with you. I hope you can hear me.
We hear you great.
But it is here in the Church of Nativity. And you know, the birthplace, and my husband, the shepherd, heard the angels sing, went up to Bethlehem here. You know, the Holy Land, Palestine is part of the Fertile Crescent. This is where, of course, humans migrated out of Africa through Palestine.
Yes.
Palestine is
Yeah.
also part of the Fertile Crescent, where humans first developed agriculture, domesticated plants and animals. I'm going to just walk with you here a little bit in the nativity so that you can see a little bit of what's going on.
Love it.
And
Again,
you
for
can
those of you at home,
and the
we are live in Bethlehem at the Church of
nativity
Nativity.
there, and that's the municipality over there.
Wow. Are you dressed like Santa, Doctor?
Yes.
You look awesome.
Yes,
I am so happy. Thank you so much for taking this on.
Oh, sure. You're welcome. And you heard from
Well,
Dr. Said, the mayor, and from our Vice Chancellor, Brother Peter Bray. Our students could use the help. You know, most of our people are young people, and university students, over 300,000 of them. We are in a very difficult economic situation, but we're very hopeful for the new year and a year to bring us freedom, to bring us justice in this holy land.
Inshallah. Inshallah. Why don't you this? So you have until the stroke of midnight. The mic is all yours, Doctor. Why don't you tell us about the Palestine Museum? I believe it's the Palestinian Heritage Museum that's yours, right?
Yeah, we have, when I returned with my wife from the US in 2008, we started the Palestine Institute for Biodiversity and Sustainability. And it's an institute that to promote people's coexistence, life here. As you know, Palestine is multicultural, multi-religious, and we were living at least happily until Zionism came and, of course, tried to make this country monolithic. But we believe in coexistence. My family is Christian.
Word.
We have Muslims, we have Baha'i, Druze, Jews, Samaritans. All native people used to live here in harmony until we had Zionism come in the late 19th century and try and create a purely Jewish state here, which resulted in the ethnic cleansing of 500 villages and towns. And that's why we have today 13 million Palestinians in the world. 7.5 million of us are refugees or displaced people. And what we long for is justice, human rights, basic elements of international law is what all we're asking for. And I think, you know, we there, I am very, very optimistic. Palestine has been through difficult times in the past, like at the time of the Crusaders and others, but we've always managed to succeed. And the best evidence of this is that this church, one of the oldest churches in the world, has been here since 17 centuries, basically. And people have been worshiping here. And you can see the church here, but you can also see the mosque behind me, you can see. And so we have basically elements of coexistence and peace. And of course, the Prince of Peace, Jesus, was born here and taught us to love each other, to live in harmony, to help the poor people, to take care of each other. And that's what we are calling for. And I'm very grateful to the United Holy Land Fund for what you do. I really, we think the students here benefit from you to what you do. And my friend Muhammad, I see, is with you here. Hajj Muhammad, thank you very much for all you do, for everything that you all have done for Palestine. I hope for many years to come.
And thank you for your support.
Actually, Institute. Sorry?
التكنولوجيا شكلها عاطل، يمكن مش دافعين الفاتورة احنا او انت
I
بس.
couldn't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, sorry about the connection. Yeah, much better.
Well, that's good. شكرا لك يا دكتور، يعطيك العافية. I'm sure we'll be seeing you soon.
شكرا لكم، يعطيكم ألف عافية. Thank you. Bye.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you and your family.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all.
Thank you. I would like to give friends of ours a plug. Palestinian Student Scholarship Fund have been basically a very supportive organization for the United Land Fund. Abu Hussein, الحج أبو عطا, الحج فلاح طباخي, Amir Darwish, Malik Masad, and the rest of them, and Abu Faris. This year they have contributed nearly $50,000 for our United Holy Land Fund Scholarship Fund. So thank you very much. We are partners with you to get those students educated. PSSF, what they do is they raise funds here in the United States, basically for the Palestinian students in the original Palestine, داخل الخط الأخضر، يعني الطلاب الفلسطينيين اللي بدرسوا في الجامعات في الجامعات الثانية اللي على الطرف الآخر بدون ذكر اسمهم. حقيقة they are doing a great job and we are proud to be your partners. I thought I mentioned that. Mona, back to you.
Thank you so much. Okay, if somebody could, if we could come see you back on, we wanted to go live again. We have 2 minutes left until the stroke of midnight at the Church of Nativity. We're going to try to get Kumsiya back. But again, those of you that are in Palestine, it is the stroke of midnight. The lights and the streets are probably being beautiful right now, especially in Bethlehem, Nasra, all over Palestine, because it is the birthplace of like our cousin Jesus. I'm telling you, the Palestinian prophet. But that Dr. Kumsiya was there in Bethlehem, and we want to get him back. Can you call him real quick? Tell him to get on real quick. If anybody could call him. We have 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Yeah. Well, again, for those of you that are watching at home, thank you so much. It really means the world to us that you've supported the UHLF this long. To have an organization in the United States that's a charity organization for Palestinians that's 50 years old, beyond that, 50 years plus, is a miracle. It really is a miracle, especially in the United States. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. For those of you that are with your family, whatever religion you are, Jewish, Druze, Christian, Baha'i, whatever it is, just spread love with your family, send love to God and all the angels above us all. Thank you so much. And let's really just take a moment of silence and honor all the blood that has been shed in honor of the Holy Land, and all the money tonight and today that has been raised for the students that are like Phoenix rising from the dust. Thank you so much. My name is Mona Abermashan. I'm a proud board member of UHLF. I'm a proud Palestinian. And I'm a fucking American. And I'm a stand for liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Have a beautiful Christmas from our family to yours. Bye-bye.
Darkened all night, my hands obey.
As 60 December turn to May, white was the chilling winter's morn, sky like a field beset with corn, or smell like a mango beauty shorn, the sun, and colors was like these, the fragrant bees. This year's born was waking by his life and blossom coming to heaven and be under earth. We see him come and grow in Mars with his sunshine and his showers, turns the patient ground to flowers, turns all patient ground to flowers. The darling of the world is come, and fitted is free by the Lord to welcome him, to welcome him. The noble part of all the house here is the heart which we will give him and be free. This holy and this silent read, was our King and Lord of all this heavenly. What sweeter music can be than a candle for to sing the birth of his Son, heavenly the birth of his Son,
All right, we're back. Thank you again to Old St. Pat's. It's Chicago's oldest Catholic church, started in 1846. Thank you for your kind and generous donation for your choir that concluded our event. Our final total, and an apologies for the swearing, by the way. I got really emotional. Okay. Our final total raised this year, 2020. There is God, and if you were ever doubting, there is a God. UHLF raised $1,200,000 for student scholarship funds in the year of 2020. Thank you so much from the bottom of our heart. Thank you so much on behalf of the UHLF. And can we get a warm welcome and thank you to our production team? Can our production team please just real quickly walk on camera? I need everyone in the audience to thank all of you. Yalla, come on, let's go. We're gonna thank Hajj Muhammad Abba Mishan. Come on, let's go. Let's go. I need you guys all on camera before we can close out. Thank you. We have an Egyptian cameraman named Muhammad. He came all the way from Masr for this event. Come on.
Jamil Abu Mishan.
Our producer, director, our everythingness.
Dina Abu Mishan.
Yes, our basically mission control. Without her, we couldn't get things done.
Their new adopted brother.
He's from Gaza. And then do you want to name your production company?
Yeah, hey, support our production company, Redshift.video. We do live videos, we do branding, and we do everything visual you would need for your business. So Redshift.video.
That's going to cost 5,000. And our beloved cameraman, come on in, Mohammed. Please come on camera. Please come on camera. Without all of this amazing support, Noura, she had to go. She went to volunteer somewhere else for an old lady's home. She's feeding old people. And while she's gone, we're actually auctioning off all of my aunt's pillows. All of them. She doesn't.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. See you guys. Bye. Have a lovely Merry Christmas.